purchase it.
When it's a physical book that I can have my
It
hands
won't
on,
ever be, is what they're saying.
then
No,
I'll
it
probably
will
never
be. It
purchase
will.
it.
Oh,
It will be when it's done.
I like buying books and holding them. I don't like paying for PDFs.
I agree, and
You know?
I want them to do the Eberron.
Like I will buy the book, so I physically paid for it, and then I'll totally find the PDF online afterwards. So I've paid for it, but now I also have it for when I'm.
Welcome to everyone to the library discussion of books or internet.
Books, kids. For sure.
Well,
yeah.
It's also, I want to support the developer, right? And I'm sorry, but your electronic format is not worth my money, especially not full value. If I was buying it for like a quarter of the cost, sure, okay, that's arguable. But if you're charging me $39.99 for a full length book,
the Eberron thing is like $15.
Even that, it's like, but is it a 300-page book?
To make people to quell the people who wanted a physical book, though, they have the Magic the Gathering setting book.
Can I roll to see if I can destroy every book?
Oh.
It's Athos. If you have a book, it's illegal. You know, like.
I was just trying to get us back on topic before the stream ends here in a little bit.
Hi, Wade.
Hey, Scott.
I missed you.
Mike, are you muted? Okay. Someone said you're muted. Yes, you.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, I was muted on XSplit.
You're welcome, everybody. You don't have to listen to that like pitchy, whiny voice, you know?
Wow.
All right, Scott.
Ollie's here too.
Now Scott's don't worry, now Scott's muted, so there's no more obnoxious drolling about rules. It's just us. We're just gonna have a chat about D&D in podcast style, and that's gonna be that.
Like 3.5 the best, even though it's so complicated. He's a lot of math.
Wow, I can hear Scott even now.
And he's unmuted. All right, let's play.
Seriously, and the way it tasted. Oh, sorry.
Scott, handing it over to you. It's been a couple weeks. Ollie was not here last week. He didn't get to see the episode, so why don't you give us a rundown, and we'll pick up where we left off.
Make it a quick.
All right, you know what? Just to make let's just do the rundown pretty quickly. Maggie, can you please recap last week for us? Maggie.
No, Maggie.
No. Well, there was an upgrade last week. Sorry, everybody. Back to the quality we were before.
I'm not going to argue about that.
So, anyways, all right. Last week, what had happened was, let's see, what did you guys leave off? So the week prior, you had left off. You were literally going to meet up with what's his face? Leviath. Thank you. Sorry, I'm just so terrible at nouns. So with Leviath, the calm again, you did meet up with him. Shashik was like, I didn't meet him before. Fuck it to meet him now. And so kind of went off and did some other stuff. And he did meet with you guys very briefly. Like I think he met with Einar once when Einar was going out for a walk and was just like, hey, that looks like a Templar with you. And you're like, yeah, it is. And he's like, cool, I'll see you on the other side. And he just kind of like disappeared for a bit. And so you met with sorry, guys. You met with Leviath again. Leviath more or less agreed to the terms that were presented before him. The two groups would meet with one another in hopes of trying to get you into the castle for more conversations, peace, blah, blah, blah. Traveled with you through into the region that's held by the group of Templars that like to sacrifice people or take blood. That was fun because a guy was giving you guys a bit of a hard time because they wanted to take blood from both Maggie's character, who was a Templar, but from a different city-state, and from Leviath, who's like, both of them like, no. And so Mike handled the problem by being like, hey, listen, here, take this potion. And knocked the guy out cold, which is pretty cool. You guys got past it, lots of conversations back and forth. More or less, you decided, okay, yep, this group of 12 or so Templars is joining this.
Continue. I'm talking to myself.
Is joining with this extremely wealthy family to work to bring some sort of peace in the future. And when you guys get there, sorry, just something in chat distracted me for a second in our chat. So when you guys finally kind of break through to make peace happen, it would kind of like benefit everybody. Put all that aside. After all this deliberating talking, you were able to make a contact along the way. Somebody, a half-elf, that's supposed to get you into the castle relatively safely. So you actually have passage to get there, but more or less lots of deliberation. was way too long of a explanation.
I
You
also
might guess
flirted
one.
with the sister of the Kalem family and got a sweet Ouroboros ring from her.
That's right.
True. That was like the
That's
one
right.
exciting thing. Otherwise, we found out the Trade Federation is with the Separatists, and the Empire is going to attack. And we avoided a 10-minute fight by having a 5-hour argument.
All right. So anyway, sorry about that super long exposition. I got distracted by like 17 things in the middle of it. All right. So when you guys are traveling, so literally picking up, you were heading over to meet up with a half elf by the name of Fenrir. So he was supposed to be the one that gets you into the actual city state itself. So you guys were led over by one of the guards of the wealthy family, and brought to meet with this guy. Now, where you end up meeting with him is, as I was saying beforehand, immediately north of the part of the city where you were before was the area known as the Hole. That was the region where, like, more or less tons of the disenfranchised or whatever people were amassing. It was like they would call it, like, an area full of meat, of like rotting people. And you're like, let's not go there. So you're actually brought around the city walls to the other side and into an older building that happens to be down there. There's a little bug flying around. Into an older building that looks to be abandoned. They bring you to the building, and as you guys go walking up to it, the building looks perfectly normal, perfectly fine. If you can actually do me a favor and roll me a perception check, all four of you. And I say all four of you because, yes, Shashuk, you've been watching them for some time now, and I imagine you've been kind of trailing them from building to building. And the reason why you're able to do that over in this part of the city, you're not allowed in this part of the city. You never have been your entire life. But the simple fact of the matter is you had jobs that you would have to do here anyways. And so you learned your little avenues, your paths, and most of them were above and out of sight.
Mortifer's still asleep from the last episode.
In 5e, that's a pretty good roll.
In 5e, that's
I mean,
nice.
at
This
level
isn't-
4, that's still pretty sad.
Yeah.
I rolled a 4, okay? That's a +8, got me to 12.
That's a good roll.
If you got a +8 in 5e, you are very high level.
No, you can be a first level fighter that happened to roll very well on dexterity and chose the archery thing and have a +9 at first level.
Yeah,
which I
unless
think is,
if you edge case,
I hate
exception
that.
proves the rule. Thanks.
Bugs
I
me out.
died a little inside from that. Can we?
So anyways, you are walking along, and so, like I said, the place looks to be just another abandoned building. At least to Shashuk it does from his angle up above. He sees down below looks to be an abandoned building, but from his vantage point up above, he actually sees that there are a couple of traps that are clearly set. Where the trigger points are, you're not entirely sure, but you can definitely see on the actual roof of the building above, there are a few different clay pots that are set. And this isn't just like a typical crappy clay. These are quality ones that wouldn't just break because of like a sandstorm or something that blowing by. These are pretty hefty clay pots that are up above and set in a way where they could easily be shifted and slid off of the building down below. Again, the triggers you can't see yourself. That's all you can really see from your angle. What both Jack and Einar can see, Jack, you can actually look up and you see that there are a few different parts of the wall. So there's windows. The windows are empty. Once again, just looking up into the windows with the angles that you have, it looks like shit. Like you can't really see in there, but you can see right in the areas where there's actually solid wall. It's not, you can actually kind of see through the structural illusion that they have there. What looks like it would be a solid wall, because like the angles of the way the stone kind of lines up, there's actually little chutes down where people would be able to like shoot down arrows or something like little arrow slits or crossbow bolts to where you're standing over by the door. Einar, you actually pick up both of those details: the arrow slits overhead and the pots up above. Though you don't see what triggers the traps for the pots, you just see that maybe something can be pushed off. Mortifer, this place is abandoned and crap.
This would be a good place to have more talks.
Now, what's kind of funny is, as I keep describing this place as abandoned, this city has gone through its damages. This part of the city has gone through less damages than the other, and this looks like it belongs in the lower region. It's just, it looks out of place even for this area. But anyways, the guy goes walking up to it, and you can actually see him take a clear step over something. It's like an awkward step with the heavy armor that he's wearing, and does a knock on the door. And after he does that, you hear like a as you hear wood scraping on wood, and eventually the door swings open, but it doesn't swing open slowly. It's like a slow at first, but gains momentum. Clearly a very, very heavy door swings open. And what you see standing on the other side is an elven person. Now, the elf that's standing before you looks rather... I don't want to say abused. They just look as though they've gotten the shit end of the stick their entire lives. They are rather like they look beaten down, lots of scars on them. They're missing several fingers from one of their hands. Their leg is clearly crippled, so on and so forth. But he's standing there when he looks up and sees the guard that's there and sees the rest that are behind him. He's like, "Trap!" And the guard's like, "No, they're with us." And he's like, "Oh," and waves for all of you guys to come in. As you guys go walking through the threshold into the building on the other side, you can actually see the building on the inside is very well maintained. The whole floor is an open concept and clear. There are a few peoples about. Those people are various different sorts. You see a mole inside there. You see two dwarves inside there. You see a human, all standing about, like sharpening their weapons or kind of shifting with equipment, so on and so forth. They're just like they're in the middle of doing their tasks. They're not at all caring or impressed that you guys come walking in the door. As he shuts the door behind you, you can see the door is reinforced by a significant amount of stone on the other side to make it so it was so heavy and hard to break through. Anyways, as you guys go walking and kind of taking in the other side, the door shuts and everything gets very dark. Uncomfortable for Jack?
I
It's
also
dark?
can't see in the dark.
Yeah, I can't see shit.
I have dark vision.
Then
You
you're
can
good.
see. Can Einar see in the dark?
No, I cannot see in the dark.
Do you have Synesthete or no?
I have Synesthete as a power stone thing, but not as a normal.
Yeah. Okay. So it gets dark. So it's that point where it's like so dark that you can see shadowy figures moving about. So you know there's people in that direction, but not how far. But anyways, eventually you hear a few people are going about their business, and it's dark for several moments. Does
Well, I
anybody
mean,
speak up, or-
if it was completely dark, I'd probably cast this.
Okay, cool. So you hold out a crystal, or where do you put it?
Let's see. I would probably just like pick up like a stone, like that I find, carry, and
Some piece of quartz,
and just let's say I kind of place it on top of my umbrella, and it just glows.
You should warn Mortifer before you turn on bright lights after his eyes have adjusted.
You hear a couple of the dwarves like grumbling in agreement. The Maul just watches on but doesn't say anything as you see his eyes kind of do that shift into normal vision, and nobody else really makes any words. Anybody say anything?
I just did, Scott.
Oh, actually,
Anybody
I can
else?
make the umbrella glow itself. The umbrella glows. It doesn't. So the umbrella glows.
Okay.
No, Jack kind of just keeps to himself and kind of just sees what happens next.
So a few moments later, not very long, and Shashik, you saw them go in, but you yourself didn't go in there yet. So actually, that didn't affect your vision. Sorry, you didn't quite join them. I described the building
assumed
across the
I
way.
joined, but I am happy to not because there's elves in there, and elves are thieves.
And you saw the knock pattern and all that stuff. So anyways, a few moments later, you see somebody come in from a back room, and as they come walking in, you can actually see. So as I just said before, and it is a male half elf. He has like tan skin. He has a buzz cut brown hair and a studded beard. His left eye is a piercing pale blue, while his right eye is covered by like a bit of an eye patch, and he has like right underneath his eye, you can see little bits of markings coming out from around where the eye is, but you can't quite make out what they are because the eye patch is in the way. He wears a black duster coat underneath his normal like slave clothes that he usually wears, and so anyways, and he has almost like a 5-gallon, 10-gallon hat going on. Almost like a westernish looking hat with a nice wide brim to it to protect him from the sunlight that happens. So anyways,
does he go ping
into a spittoon? Boy, howdy, what you doing in my rundown building?
So as he comes walking in, he walks in and does a clap. All right. I see there's another group that's trying to make its way through. That's interesting. Who have you brought for me today? He says to the guard, but not to the guard. Like it's clearly not meant for the guard, but was directed at him.
Mortifer's gonna clap. Mortifer is here.
Oh, Mortifer. He actually walks up to you and he actually stands before you, looking you up, looking you down, looking you back up again, and then will raise a hand for you to shake his.
How tall is this guy?
Not very. Being a half elf, he's standing at like 5'9"ish.
I'll give him a nice, like, firm handshake.
Okay. Yeah, your hand could easily take like part of his forearm too. I don't know if you're intentionally trying to like.
Not trying to like
consume-
hurt him or be forceful, but just like overly strong, dumb, brute handshake.
Absolutely. So, anyways, he's like, wow. So I get to watch you work in arena. That's exciting. I'm happy that you're here. And he looks over at the others. Einar first.
Introduce myself. I am Einar from Nibene.
Well,
I'm gonna
there is-
clap as Einar's talking again. As Einar didn't clap.
He says
Has this man introduced himself to us yet? Or
he hasn't said his name, but
Okay.
you've heard his name from last session.
oh, sorry, what was his name again?
Fenrir.
Fenrir.
Fenrir, yeah.
Alright.
Fenrir.
Oh.
Werewolf.
And I just say it's like, and you are Fenrir, I believe.
I am, and every group should bring one that they expect to die. I'm glad they chose such an easy target. And then he looks over to Jack.
I actually will kind of do like a smirk and like a.
He looks over to Jack and he says, "And I imagine you're the brains, aren't you?"
I clap before Mortifer can. I go, Jack.
I just nod approvingly.
Oh, yeah,
So-
that's all I say.
So if you're here, that means you're attempting to get into the castle, aren't you?
You speak as if you're, you know exactly how it's done. It sounds quite dangerous by your tone.
It is. It is a bit dangerous because there's only so many wards to go around, and well, you're not a part of my crew. So that being said, what do you know about what's on the other side of that wall?
What do we know?
Hopefully numbers 300 to 500.
That's kind of lost on him.
Yeah. Scott, remind us, like, what do we know that's on the side of that wall?
There are warring factions.
I just say that there is currently warring factions in the castle of Templar and trade and merchants and the like.
Sheshik, feel free at any point in time to come down and try.
I was actually thinking this would be around the time I just repeat the knock on the door.
The surprised. Everybody's a bit surprised, as always, that the door's opening. The ones that were here before, they once again kind of look lazily over at the door. They don't really give a shit. The elf that I was describing beforehand kind of like looks shocked at the door, and then looks to Fenrir, and Fenrir gives a nod, and he goes over and moves a huge like wooden block out of the way, scraping against the stone, and starts pulling it open. Conversation is completely brought to a halt as everybody's watching. And when the door opens up, it opens once again slowly at first and then swings open. It's so heavy. It's one of those like you wouldn't be able to like open it and defend yourself at the same time. You're just completely exposed.
Well, they wouldn't.
And and as it opens up and he tries to do that whole jump to prepare to defend himself, which is more than a few moments to murder him several times, he sees on the other side Sheshik. He's
I'm
like,
with him.
"And who are you?"
I'm with them.
Uh,
The
I,
man with the glowing
I
stick.
just say very quiet. I just say very quietly. I just say he is with us.
Yeah, don't mind me. I was just taking a piss.
He looks to the guard that led you guys here. Is it a trap? And the guard's like, no. I haven't seen him, but I know they had another.
The guard's
So he
clearly not a
lets him in.
Sullustan then.
Shuts the door.
So the guard's clearly not a Sullustan then, right?
No.
Sheshik just strides up to the rest of you and imagine you're standing in a bit of a line. He just stands at the end of the line.
I don't think that was Akbar is not a Celestin.
No, he's a
Akbar
Mon
is
Calamari.
Thank
Oh,
you.
he's
Okay.
not Calamari. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
I was
That's
like,
why I was
I was like-
confused. I was like,
I was
I
like,
haven't seen the last episode.
I had the right idea. I said the wrong species. It's my bad.
oh,
Yeah.
It's my
Is he
low
Calamari
intelligence.
fish people.
he's kicked off
Aren't the
Wednesdays.
Celestins like the big bellowing?
They've got
No,
the jowls.
Celestin's
They've got the
pancake
jowls.
thing.
They're the ones that have like the
Yeah.
overlapping cheeks.
Yeah. They have like they can do like a big sonic
Yeah.
scream.
I
Yeah,
meant
maybe.
on calamari or whatever.
Wait,
Maybe even rules they can?
did,
Or no, you might
I-
be thinking of Thorians. Thorians, I think, can do a weird scream because they have two mouths and stuff.
Dave is confusing Dark Sun with Star
No,
Wars.
I'm not. No, I'm not.
Okay, then what the hell are you talking about?
Celestins aren't psychic. They're not that interesting.
No, they have like I think these are the hammerhead creatures with the two mouths that they can do.
No,
like
those are a
Those-
different dude.
Yeah, that's a Thorians. Thorians
Ah.
can do that.
Oh,
Celestins
okay.
are just have the jowls. They just have like weird, like jowly
Okay.
cheeks.
Oh right, that's
They're
the
like
guy
mechanics or pilots.
Who,
or
that's the
Yeah,
guy who
usually.
flew the
What have I put into motion on this day? I'm so sorry.
You're all nerds, Wade.
Move-
Okay, sorry.
Moving on. So anyways, the door shuts back, and once the door shuts, he says, "Allow me to explain what it's like on the other side of the wall, because you see, it's on this side of the wall. You have certain protections that exist. The sheer number of people, all the people moving about each other at all points in time, it chases away certain creatures that might otherwise exist." In that area. When you come through to the other side of the wall, things are a bit quieter. And when they're a bit quieter, there are critters that can move about, critters that aren't as intimidated by the volume, by the sound. Critters that live in the sands or wherever they like. So it makes it a little difficult to traverse from one area to the next. Those that have a right inside the castle, they can walk along the paths. The paths have been warded. They were warded back when the Sorceress Queen, may the gods rest her soul, when the Sorceress Queen was still alive, the wards were put in place then because she had her own triggers and traps that existed. Well, those traps have long since worn off, and the wards that she out there long since worn off, sans the ones in the path. So it makes the trek to and from the castle a little interesting. A little interesting indeed. Are you sure you're up for the challenge?
I'll speak up. Why does the wards having worn off makes the trek interesting? Shouldn't it be safer?
The wards that were put in place weren't for people traveling through the area. The traps were, and those have mostly been sprung. My apologies. The wards were to keep other creatures out.
Oh, other creatures.
Are you familiar with creatures that live? And I know this is a strange thing to say because there are so few of them that exist in this world, but creatures that live in the shadow.
Do I roll because I'm gonna check?
Shashuk is such a creature.
A
I
religion?
was gonna say that.
No, Arcana in this world is fine.
Arcana?
Can I choose religion?
They don't have a religious foundation in this world.
So it has to be Arcana.
Yeah.
Hoopy.
Woo!
Oh, I actually rolled really well.
So both of you guys know it.
It's Jack.
Are we all supposed to be rolling this?
You can
No,
if you.
you would not know.
Yeah, Jack just is.
I
trained
couldn't
in-
have fought one in the arena. Probably not.
No.
Jack is just trained in Arcana, so it makes sense for him to roll.
You guys both come to the realization that what I'm referring to is a shadow. But Jack, you specific. So what I'm referring to as a shadow, it's like a creature that doesn't quite exist in this world, can move through walls, and is known to consume the life of people and whatnot. Jack, you know more than that. You know that shadows are actually like weakened heavily by light. So it's one of those things, as long as you stay exposed into pale daylight, that it's actually safe. You're perfectly safe from the shadows. So you know what he's referring to.
I'll relay that information. Though Jack will openly muse how he finds that interesting that it's something that he's probably thought about occasionally from time to time. How can a shadow exist in two different places when Athos itself is disconnected from any other realm?
It doesn't exist in two different places. It's not existent from the ethereal plane. It's disconnected with the astral plane.
Oh, okay. I thought it was disconnected from all planes.
No, the astral plane. And
Okay.
even then, technically, some things with like a lot of force can get into shallow pocket realms of the astral plane.
Okay.
Einar. Can get to shallow pocket versions of the astral plane. It's disconnected from the ethereal plane, and it still can touch the inner planes.
But it can't. Oh, okay. Weird.
It just doesn't touch the outer planes at all.
Okay, gotcha. All right, no, so I'll just relay that information.
For the viewers, super quick explanation. Material plane is where all your typical worlds are: Eberron, Faerun, Athos, whatever. Around that, there's the astral plane, which you use to get to the outer planes. That's all the religious ones, gods and whatnot come from, and demons. And then the inner planes, where elementals come from. So no outer planes, yes inner planes.
Okay, cool. Then never mind. I won't say that.
And the arrow planes take you from one to the other.
No, that's the plane of air.
Close. AERO.
Yeah, because
Tough
like
crowd.
you know.
Tough crowd.
Right. We tried. Cool. So I'll just openly say that. I'm sure Einar will start, and then at the end, Jack will throw on what little extra knowledge he has.
Sure.
So he actually watches as you say all this stuff, and he's actually, you can see it in his eyes. He's genuinely impressed that that you guys knew what it was that he was referring to. He's like, okay, then you might know about the architecture of the buildings over there. They're large and they're heavy, and you can't just build that on sand, can you?
Hmm.
The area immediately around the buildings, where most of the shadows are cast, that's the area where it's safest to walk, because a certain amount of foundation was built to support the weight of the buildings above, right? And that's a good thing, because the rock that you're walking on doesn't give off as many vibrations in the sand as you know, walking out in the open, and that is in the courtyard on the hill. Because over there, if you're walking in the open sands, between the sharks and the worms, I'm not sure which will cause you more harm. And then, of course, there's the carrion overhead, always looking to swing down and peck at whatever food it can find. It's a dangerous place indeed. Are you sure you can make it to the castle?
I look around everyone. It's like, well, I don't think any of us came this far to turn back now.
I mean, yeah, Jack just silently kind of stands and just keeps looking like.
Okay,
I'm not
like
gonna...
He said enough.
point being, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's like, oh, good. I was hoping for some entertainment. Would you mind your seconds, because you've arrived here seconds? I'm going to allow this group to go first. Treasure hunters, of course. They're here to see what they can pillage from the castle. Fools, but well-paying ones. We'll discuss that in a moment. And he turns to go lead the other group out. As he goes to lead the other group out into the courtyard, lead the other group out of the room. He leads them out, and you can see almost immediately once he goes through the doorway, they're walking down some stairs and into some sort of tunnel or whatever exists down below. And then they're gone for an extended period of time. Nobody else is in the room. The guard that came in with you turns and ends up leaving. The elf stays with you guys, but otherwise the person's gone. He did speak to the elf for a little while, and he did hand over a sack to the elf before he left. But otherwise, you guys are left to the room to your own devices for an extended period of time. Any conversation you want to have with one another, or plans that you want to try to come up with before you go, please.
Mortifer immediately passes out. Just goes to sleep.
Okay.
Shashak gives that elf the evil eye the entire time.
He returns it. It's far less intimidating, and after a while, he gets intimidated and doesn't make eye contact, and then eventually just doesn't even look in your general direction.
I don't stop.
Well, I'll look at the elf.
Eventually leaves the room.
Well, no. I'm going to try to engage the elf in conversation.
Please go ahead.
Oh, if you start walking over, I kind of grab your sleeve, and I'm like, Ina, I don't know what it's like in Nibonay, but every elf is a thief, right? He's just going to shank you. And take...
I kind of give you an up and down. And what are you?
I'm not a thief. I'm a scavenger. Very different. Let go.
Don't worry.
I mean, it's your funeral. I'm not going to go save you from an elf. You know, they run awful fast. Can't catch them.
I was like, I will watch my things. Thank you.
You go up to the guy.
Yeah, I walk to the guy. I say, the elves are known for their traveling in the deserts of this place. We've been told that there's dangers in these sands. What can we do to reduce our vibrations upon the sands?
It takes generations to learn the techniques of each tribe, and then decades to master them. Just because you're old and frail doesn't mean you've lived long enough to have learned them. You certainly don't have the agility in your bones. You're dead, old man. You're food for something out there.
Mortifer's gonna roll over and make a really loud thud with lots of vibrations as he's sleeping.
The room vibrates.
You seem so sure of my death. What besides what the Fafnir Fafnir besides what he mentioned, it's like what do you think is out there?
Doesn't matter.
Good talk.
Then it proceeds like as Dave walks away. Imagine as Dave walks away, Shashik's like was immediately behind Dave. So as soon as Dave walks away, it's like instant eye contact.
He's just like,
Shortly after he's chased out of the room by that like scary daggers look. So Shashik, he leaves the room and you.
Yep, I'm very pleased with myself.
So if nothing else happens in the meanwhile, eventually Fenrir comes back in. It's about an hour and a half later on. He comes back in. You can actually hear chuckling down the hall. As what? Oh, hold on. Okay, yeah. And then you can hear like a murmured conversation between him and the elf in the other room. You guys can feel free to roll to listen or not.
yeah.
I just sort of like push my foot on Mortifer's belly until he wakes up.
I wake up and I'm very perceptive the moment I wake up.
I might as well, right? Oh, what's that?
It's funny enough. It's so Jack, you just hear that they're having a conversation that's quieter, but not necessarily, but not like whispered. It's just a bit hushed of a conversation. You know, it's just like they're having a to the side business chat, but the details you can't really make out. You do hear clinking of money on the other side. As does Einar, you hear a little bit of clinking. Shashik doesn't either. You know what I mean? Shashik does not hear that. Mortifer, you're actually able to hear a bit of the conversation that they have as you kind of like come to. You like listen in that direction. You actually hear them talking about. He's like, I don't like him. I don't like him, and bits of murmuring. And he's like, and it's pay. And then there's the clinking of the money that you hear, and he's like, but just watch out for them. And you just more or less get the idea that there's a little exchange happening, and potentially you've already had your way paid to get through here, most likely by the guard earlier. So when he does come walking back into the room, he walks back into the room and he's got like a decent sized smile on his face, not ear to ear, but
The voice that didn't like us, was that the elf that was in the room with us?
Correct.
Okay.
He comes walking in and he's like, I have to say, you missed the show. It was incredible. And the one guy almost made it. He almost did. You should have seen him. He had the hook, and he was climbing up the rope, and he literally had a whole arm and shoulder in the window, and he was starting to get his footing, and then all of a sudden, he just ends. It was well, your way has been paid, I've been told. So I'm excited that you're going to provide a little more entertainment.
Mortifer provides a lot entertainment.
That's right, he says, like kind of turning his attention away from everybody else over to Mortifer, who was getting up from where he was resting before. He's like, that's right, Mortifer. I have to say, your being here, you actually give me hope that that someone might make it through. I'm excited about that. I am. Mortifer, what have you been up to lately?
Sleeping, listening to lots of talking, and someone tried to hire Mortifer to stand.
That sounds awful.
It has been.
Mortifer, I'm the kind of person that likes to get my hands on things that others can't.
Well, this is off limits.
You just your penis?
Hell yeah.
Shazzy just gives you a long, like, confused look.
So that actually took me a moment. I was like, did he really do that? Is that TTP? Like, okay, there we go. All right. So, anyways, he's like, he chuckles. So that Finnear chuckles at that. He's like, yes, but you have big hands, and so I have a feeling you can grasp things that others can't. If you survive this, because I'm sure you've had some sort of investment, you and I should have talks about things that you can get your hands on for me.
I'll just let you know he's not quiet. I mean, if you're talking about acquiring things, you need to be quiet about that. You need to be stealthy. That's what you're talking about. Like
No. Some things you get quietly. Other things you just get. You know what I'm saying? And other things you could produce, but unfortunately, it's really hard to get your hands in good production nowadays. But so why don't we make our way into the arena?
Yes, this sounds good. And Mortifer will think about getting things.
He starts walking with you guys, and he starts walking, like leading you guys along. But then we'll look over to Jack to get Jack's attention, and like waves for Jack to come up next to him.
Sure.
So he'll, as you walk up next to him, like as you like will literally come up to him, he'll be like, "So why are you doing this?
Business.
You involved in any of this?
Indirectly.
You don't give a shit about it."
Do I look like I give a shit about it?
He turns to a stop, wheels around on his heels, and looks at you and he says, "I was kind of hoping you didn't. Let's if you don't care what's going on, that means there's nothing of value to you there.
I wouldn't know that without seeing it, no.
It's less a matter of seeing and more a matter of hearing. So let me make you an offer of something that might be valuable. If you come across any information that you happen to find while in there, how things are working out between the groups, just anything, even rumors, you bring that to me, and we'll see if we can find a monetary compensation for your time."
Sounds like we're in similar businesses.
Oh?
Information's worth a lot to the right people.
Oh. I've never heard of you before.
I stay on the outskirts.
You look like it.
Do my best.
Maybe we should talk in the future. Let me know if you find anything, since you probably know where to look.
Jack just kind of like raises his eyebrows and shrugs with a slight nod.
He turns and continues leading you guys forward. You guys go through a tunnel for a little bit. The tunnel looks like it was hand dug and not that long ago. Like it's like not very well maintained tunnel right now. The building itself is clearly some sort of stakeout for who knows how long. But this tunnel looks relatively new. When you guys come through what is clearly, like, it's very obvious when you're going through the area that has the actual wall overhead, because the tunnel goes from just being, sand, not really sand, but like that compressed kind of sand around you. As you go through that, eventually you actually see like a bunch of stone around you, where they literally had to chip away at the bottom of the castle to make their way to get over, the bottom of the wall to make their way to the other side. When you do get through to the other side, you see there's like a makeshift, almost like stairs, but they're uneven and it's different depths and whatnot. Makeshift stairs to bring you up to where there's, looks like just a hunk of wood thrown over a hole in the ground to block off this entrance over here. But as you are making your way towards that tail end, at one point in time, like that last, say, 40 feet or so of the walk, he does actually hold up his hands for you guys to stop, and then starts walking forward very slowly.
This is him to go up into through the wooden thing?
Just to get to where that stairwell is, that last little leg of the tunnel to get to where the stairwell is.
Watch his feet specifically.
Okay. He walks through very slowly. He's doing your toe to heel kind of like I'm being as quiet as possible sort of step. As you're like traversing through this last little part, you can see that the walls themselves have a bit of wood or chunks of stone or whatever that were put up along the walls around here. But the ground is still the same material you've been walking through the whole while. Once he gets over to the stairs and you guys follow behind him, you said you were trying to mock his steps, Mike?
I was specifically watching and studying the way he's walking, more or less. And I will try and mock the way he does so after, if we're up next.
Sure. Do you have acrobatics in this game?
We do.
Acrobatics? Yeah, acrobatics is a skill.
Oh, good.
Want to roll that for me?
Yeah, sure. 9.
Okay. Who's behind you?
Mortifer will follow Jack. Here's where everything goes wrong, team.
Mortifer, the ceilings here, by the way, are tall enough for a mole to walk comfortably, which is really short for you. Like you're still crouched
Great.
down and, because you're obnoxiously tall.
Can Mortifer bluff the floor instead of acrobaticsing the floor?
Nope, you're gonna acrobatics with a -2.
-2? It's a -4 already.
I just like being mean to you. That's rough. That's a 3.
Negative. Oh, okay. So yeah, okay.
It's not a crit fail.
So as you go walking through, because of your sheer bulk size and the lack of acrobatics and everything, you're actually kind of banging against the bits of wood and the stone and whatnot that's along the walls, and your footsteps are kind of loud and so on and so forth. So eventually he wheels around. And he's like, oh, shh, shh, yeah. Okay, this is where I stop. It's up there and across the way. I'll come back and watch after you guys are through. And he goes to push his way past Jack, like he can easily get around Jack, and then push his way around Mortifer, which is going to be an uncomfortably tight squeeze.
So
He'll
there's
have to climb between Mortifer's legs.
So there's some uneven stairs leading up like a tower.
No. Just literally, there's a couple steps going to a piece of wood. Like it's not even a trapdoor; it's literally a piece of wood thrown over a hole that you're going to get to.
It's like a small cellar or something, I'm guessing.
You can tell he's just trying to carefully step over in this region. And so he leaves you guys, he abandons you guys, goes past you, past Einar, past Shashuk.
All right.
Who's the last one in line?
Probably me.
Okay,
I actually imagine it would be Shashuk.
Yeah.
Okay, so Shashuk, he would be literally like right behind Shashuk, like lean up against the wall right by where you are, not like going all the way back down the tunnel or anything. Okay, so Jack, you keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
As you do so, roll me a perception check.
20.
As you do so, moving forward, Mortifer hasn't started stepping yet, and that's something that you actually look back to check. He hasn't, because you swore you saw as you're making your way forward, a little bit of sand falls from the ceiling above you, and you thought you heard almost like a grating kind of noise, but it was soft and went by kind of quickly. Thought you heard it in the wall, but definitely a little bit of sand fell from the ceiling in front of you. You're pretty much at the base of the stairs, but and it's only a few steps to go up and move the wood thing out of the way.
No, if that happened, I will immediately turn and lock eyes with Mortifer and just hold up a stop moving. And that'll be to everybody, but I can't know if I can see past Mortifer, so.
Blocking the way.
And I just kind of go
I'll try my best.
just don't move and don't talk. That's all I'm saying. And I basically want to let time pass. So hopefully the thing, maybe whatever it is, gets interested in something else, goes away, and then we can try again. And if we have to keep doing that until the thing is gone, so be it.
I'll allow everybody to make a stealth check with a +10.
Okay.
Oh, good. That balances out my -8.
So whatever I roll.
Reminders in case you have anything on your person that might be negatively impacting you at the moment, like say full plate
10.
armor.
So just add 10 to whatever you roll.
Yes, I am not. I'm in medium armor mode. I'm not in full plate armor mode.
Okay, so
17.
25. 20 for Einar, and 31 for Shashuk, because that's what he's good at.
Shashuk does not move an eyebrow.
That's about the best roll I could hope for.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's gonna be our highest total number the entire session. So, all right. So, anyways, you guys stay still for an extended period of time, minute, 2 minutes, whatever it is, until finally you, Jack, feel like, okay, no, it seems like whatever that was is past. It's safe.
Try again.
So now you can make either an acrobatics or a stealth check to make your way up the stairs.
They're both the same bonus, so it doesn't matter.
What about
Stealth is better.
swimming?
Okay, I'll go with stealth then. 18.
Okay, so you quietly make your way to the top of the stairs, where you can get even as high. You can even get as high up if you want, where like you're somewhat bent for lifting and using your body to move the wood rather than just your arms.
Okay.
Which I mentioned a little gangly.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Sure.
When it comes to Mortifer's turn, I just say, and I try to get his attention, like I wave my hand at him.
Nice little butt slap.
Yeah. And I just say, it's like, hold on one moment. Shh. I'm gonna spend 2 power points, and I'm gonna cast Skate on myself and on him, so our feet actually do not literally touch the ground.
You can cast it on both you guys. Awesome.
With 2, it's 1 power point per person. I can now do it on 4, so all of us. But
Okay.
I think Shashuk will be okay. And
Now you said that. Now I'm gonna die.
Thanks, Dave.
problem.
What's the duration of that?
I'm in it per level. So at this, so my level, it's 5 minutes.
I have a question. Because Mortifer's so tall, it makes it awkward and hard to move. Would it now just be easier to have Mortifer sit on his bum and have you push him?
Push him.
Actually, you push him by doing like a skating motion, like. Shh.
Mortifer allows this.
So, Mike, do you choose to lift the wood, or are you going to let them come up to you first?
I'll let them all approach first.
First, Mortifer. So, Dave, you didn't throw skate into chat. Could you do that, please?
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Yep, you're fine. So, you, another willing creature, so you're just able to move quicker if it's downhill, and do not suffer the negative effects of things like sand.
One
for normal terrain.
normal weight as well.
I mean, it's up to you how that affects it.
Yep. No, you're good. Oh, there's more text. Yeah, so cool. So you can literally do something like Mortifer. You can literally sit down once you realize, like, imagine you have a whispered conversation, and he's just like, no, you can slide. And like literally shows you his foot
I
sliding.
only weigh 150 pounds now.
And so you sit down. You can literally sit down and use your hands to like move you along. You know what I mean? Which is nice.
Yeah, we're
move yourself
1/10 our normal weight. I weigh like 9
You're
pounds.
considered a tenth of the normal weight.
We should play bumper cars on the skatey ice.
Oh.
Yeah, that's real safe right now.
It's funny that Mortifer still weighs more than Shashuk and Jack, probably combined.
With a 10th, yeah.
So anyways, make your check for me, please, Mortifer. Once again, acrobatics or stealth.
Stealth is better if you.
I'm going to allow you to not take your huge penalties that you usually have.
Well, okay, so it doesn't matter. Then they're both the same.
Sure.
All right,
Well, you said yeah.
so that'd be a 12
I thought you said your penalty was a -8 normally.
on stealth. It's a -4 on acrobatics.
Okay, so it's going to be a 12. So you kind of like slide yourself forward a bit. I mean, it's one of those, you hear him grinding on the ground, you hear movements and whatnot, but and you hear like as his hands like hit the ground and pull himself along, but it's not anywhere near as bad as it was beforehand, right? Who's next? Einer?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I'll go.
Your check.
I'm gonna do acrobatics.
Okay.
Oof.
You don't have a penalty to your acrobatics, do you?
No, not right now.
So I'll give you a +4. So
Okay.
you try to slide forward, and strangely enough, he was actually made more noise than it was.
Well, because it's probably because my character was like nervous, so like he was like trying to like pull himself by dragging his umbrella on the side of the wall, but it kind of made a scraping noise. And I was like, not very.
I'm going to allow Shashuk to make the Shashuk and what's his face, Jack to make me perception checks because they're the ones that are waiting as the two clumsy
Okay.
ones are moving.
I heard
I only
nothing.
just remembered to level up, and I didn't put any points in perception. Totally should have.
Shashuk heard it at least.
Okay, so you didn't hear anything, Jack, which actually kind of makes sense because the DC was a little higher for you, anyways. So Shashuk, you hear a slight grinding sound inside the sand, almost like in the walls around you. You also see a little bit of sand start to fall, and you're aware of this. And it actually is one of those things that gives you just a smidge notice when all of a sudden the area of tunnel between where you are and where Einer is, all of a sudden comes bursting through into the room where you are. A sand shark just comes bursting in. A sand shark is not a small creature. It's actually about the size of almost the size of a great white shark. So you're looking about 18
Is
to
it a
20 feet
literal
long.
Shark.
Shark, yeah, as they've
Okay.
evolved magically over time. So it comes bursting through into the tunnel, and as it comes bursting through, it tries to take a bite at one of the targets. That target being, of course, Einar. So it's going to make an attack of opportunity against Einar. However, the way these things move, they also move out. He's gonna come through the tunnel and back out the other side. When it does so, you get an attack of opportunity.
Oh, so it's like diving through the tunnel, trying to grab him and drag him into the sand.
Do I get an attack of opportunity as well, being right next to Einar?
No, you do not, because you weren't aware of it. You were busy pulling yourself, not doing the whole listening bit.
Scooching.
Oh, I thought he was pushing me. I had a beautiful image of our friendship.
What is your flat-footed AC there?
Flat-footed.
Because I beat an 18.
Then
It's
you
not
beat-
18.
You beat it then.
Okay, cool. So I hit you, and I'm going to deal. So as the thing comes rushing through, it bites at you with its huge friggin' mouth. It crunches into your armor, which is fully formed but not entirely made out of steel or anything like that. Its teeth are actually able to penetrate through the material that it is and deal to you 10 points of piercing damage, which is pretty devastating. But more important than that, as it bites into you, it then swims through, tries to get through to the other side, and is going to force you to make an opposed grapple check there, Dave.
Oh no. Okay, so that's
Because it's piercing, does that skip?
Sorry, no, my apologies.
Roll CMB against
I just roll CMB against your, exactly, my apologies.
Yeah.
What's your CMD?
11.
It successfully grabs you and starts pulling you through into the sand wall on the other side. Shashik, you get your attack of opportunity against this creature. You can do what you do.
How do attack opportunities work? What can I do? Can I just make a terror attack?
Attack of opportunities just need to be a normal attack, so no what is
Yeah,
swift
terrors
actions
don't
or anything like
activate
that.
anything else. They're just
It's just a touch attack.
Then you can
Yeah.
do that. Yep.
Okay, then I will do an incite fear terror.
Because that's a class ability, not a spell, right?
Yes.
Then, yeah, you can do that.
It's
Oh,
his
my
devastating touch ability.
I did it wrong. I even told myself I wouldn't do it wrong, but I did it wrong. I miss.
Oh, well, that's not necessarily true. Let me see. It's touch AC. Hold on one second.
Oh, that's true.
Touch ACs are absolute garbo. Hold on, I'm a crappy person and forgot to.
God, how do you up your touch AC? Mine's Garbo too.
But like
I guess I'm easy
crazy specific feats.
Yeah, it's very crazy. Specific items allow you to do
It's
that.
probably not hard to touch a 12-foot tall giant. After.
No, I just need to touch your toe and it will terrify you.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. I was looking for a word that said bestiary, but instead I meant to find monsters. So,
Ah.
see.
I mean, it might hit, I guess.
Is there even enough room in this tunnel for me to fight?
You wouldn't really have much room to swing. It'll be like a Dark Souls thing.
I'll just have to push it forward.
Yeah.
Or just hold it out. If I know where it's coming, just hold the hammer out and have it like ding.
Ephesian shark. There it is.
Oh, that's way better than Sand Shark.
Yeah, it's an Ephesian shark.
Also,
So-
it's related to Jack.
So this is actually its touch AC is unfortunately better than what you just did there.
That's
so
fair. I don't mind.
it does successfully grab Dave.
The best thing is probably because it's like, it's not even like a clean fight. I probably dive after it as it's sort of grabbing.
So it grabs Dave and pulls him into the sand on the other side. So Dave, you do have enough time to like take a gasp of air as you go in. In which case, immediately afterwards, the drowning rules are going to start taking effect, or suffocation rules are going to start taking effect.
I will definitely sort of yelp as I do so to gather everyone's attention.
And with that, why don't we take our first break?
Sure. All right, we'll be back in a few minutes, guys. Hopefully Dave doesn't die. We'll see.
Hopefully.
We'll be back soon.
They always say one of them's gonna die.
Yeah,
Hope
and
someone
it was
follows
the old
trouble.
man, as they predicted. Perfect.
Yeah.
We'll be back in a couple minutes.
Being grabbed is the wizard's classic weakness.
Yeah, very true. All right,
You guys ready to roll your initiative? Initiative.
All right, we
Yeah,
are.
I'm just tweaking one of this.
When this wants to work. There we go. We are. Nope. There we go. All right, we're live. Thank you, XSplit.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Livedom. Okay, so if you guys could could everybody do me a favor? Remember to click your mini. Please roll me initiative.
Is my initiative bonus really only 1? That seems wrong.
Your initiative's bonus is pretty low in this one. I took a talent to have better initiative, and I rolled a 2. So
I rolled a 10.
the toilet to do a
My
number.
initiative is +0.
There are a lot of ways to have cripplingly like plus 19 initiatives and stuff like that,
And I
but
want
that's like specific builds.
Is this thing's initiative a 0? Am I reading that right?
I haven't rolled for it yet.
Oh, okay.
I needed to roll something else really
I
quickly
don't want to go
beforehand.
first.
I actually didn't roll how many were inside the pack. Ha! That's awesome. Can I drop that onto? No, I can't. Okay, yeah, that was I rolled max. That's awesome. All right. So, anyways, everybody rolls initiative, and you did.
I rolled incredibly average.
Okay, and I need to do my turn of rolling. Sorry, guys, I didn't do this while we were on break because I went and talked about football with my wife.
Oh yeah, the Hall of Fame game's going on tonight, isn't it? Or
Yeah,
was?
I was like, really? It's the first game of the preseason, and you're already grabbing face masks and stuff like that. It's like, ugh. Some parts about watching professional sports that bug me out. Did I just mess up your initiative, Shashik? I may have.
No, mine was 7.
Okay, I think I just changed it to a 23. In which case, sorry.
Oh
no.
Don't apologize about that.
You want to change Mortifer's to 23
I'll change
too?
it back.
Thank you.
I could get a 23 if I could roll good initiative rolls ever, but I almost always with Shashik rolled.
I'm at least faster than one of them.
Wow, that's pretty awful. Pretty awful. All right, so the one that was able to grab Dave's character is I'm going to have it be the one that is the middle of initiative, so number 18. So that happens. So spoiler alert, there's more than one. It comes through, it grabs Einar and jumps through the other side. Everybody's like, oh shit, as that happens. Immediately afterwards, everybody can start hearing the grinding of the sand around all of you. You're still stuck inside this little tiny fucking tunnel. And as you start hearing the grinding going around, one of them, this is you, Jack, you hear a lot of grinding, kind of like swinging around where you are, almost like it comes up close on one side, Doppler effect getting closer, then swings around the tunnel, almost like it goes around the stairs that you're over by, and swims off into the distance, doesn't make an attack yet. Another one, however, actually does come bursting in, and it would have burst through into what's your name? Mortifer would come bursting in to hit him. However, ends up smashing into the wood and stone that's in the side wall over there and isn't able to pierce through. So you hear this like, and you see like the stone and everything kind of like bend inwards a little bit falls. A ton of sand falls down into where you guys are, makes it so it's like a little bit more difficult to see as the sand falls. It's not a ridiculous amount. And then you can hear grinding slow at first as it like wobbly starts to move away. After that, we're going to go to Jack's turn. So Jack, one of them literally just grabbed Einar and jumped in the wall. Einar is like half pulled into the wall at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, he's pulled into the wall at the moment. My apologies.
I'm just trying to debate what I can really do in this situation. The answer is not much.
You're over at the top of the stairs, you know.
I'm actually, I know this is like, listen, there's a method to my madness if things go horribly, but my concern is I don't know how many sharks there are in the sand, and the more noise that happens over here, the more of them are going to start showing up. It could just be the 2. Fuck if I know. I'm going to peep out real quick, like just lift my head up above the wood and take a ceramic piece and just throw it to like a sand patch, and I just want to see if anything comes to get it. Just like a little rift. I want to see how sensitive they are to this, because then I can make decisions from there.
The bit of wood you're trying to lift up is heavy, so I'm going to require a strength check from you.
Jesus.
It's a DC 8. It's not very hard.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean shit. I have a plus nothing, so all right.
Yeah, I know.
Hey.
We're good.
So you easily like lift it up, grab up your we'll call it a ceramic plate, like so
Yeah.
a gold piece, and you hum the thing like a frisbee sort of, maybe even like
Yeah.
sideways, so it has like a bit of a skip to it and bounces and makes like an obvious amount of vibration or whatever.
Yeah.
And you stay there and you watch that for a few moments, and then a little bit later you hear like a few seconds later on in the initiative, all of a sudden you see one of the sharks come bursting up from the sand, like grabs the thing, it goes bursting down to the sand on the other side. Its head goes in, but it's not like it's a perfect clean like loopy jump. Its head comes up and bursts, and it's kind of like a belly floppy sidey flop
Right.
back into the sand. It swims itself back down, its tail exposed for a few moments.
All right, I have a plan, at least to pull attention off of us.
Okay, so that's pretty much your turn.
Yeah, I think that's unfortunately going to be my turn.
Okay, then it goes to the shark that had grabbed Einar. Einar's foot was kind of still somewhat in the sand. It starts pulling Einar through the sand. So all of a sudden, Einar's like, and pulled it, and he can feel like literally the feeling of sand ripping across his face. So the damage I'm about to do to you, Dave, is not just the teeth boring into you. It's actually a combination of teeth boring into you and the effect of the sand literally blasting against your flesh.
Sure.
Here we go. Poor Dave. I forgot to GM roll. Hey!
Perfect. That's
I
what
rolled
we want.
minimum.
All right, so
I rolled minimum.
Thank you, Shark.
Is DR approved of this if it's piercing
Yes,
damage?
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. You know what's funny is I would actually allow DR to do even more in the situation of, because I'm saying it's coming from both the sand and the teeth, I would allow it to be like 50% greater in that scenario. All right, so after the shark continues to rip you through who knows where, through the sands, it's now your turn.
Can I try to telepathic lash him to daze him?
Yes. There's no concentration, so you don't
Yes,
need to
there
worry
is.
about...
There is no concentration?
Oh, yeah, because you're technically grappled. Yep. Okay, DC 20, I believe it is.
Oh, wow.
I believe it's DC 20.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. So you tried to telepathic lash him. Unfortunately, you can't get the presence of minds to force that kind of damage to the creature. So you're unfortunately at the thing's whim as it's tearing into you and the flesh is being stripped from your bones. It's a very precarious scenario. All right. Einar, anything else you can do on your turn?
I mean, I can't move,
That's unfortunate.
and that was my action, and then I swift. I don't think I can. I don't think my swift does anything.
So I do have to unfortunately warn you, Dave, the suffocation rules kick into place now because of the fact that you are being pulled through sand, which you can't breathe in. The way suffocation rules work in Pathfinder, you can hold your breath for a number of rounds equal to 2 times your constitution score. Yours is a 12. That's 24 rounds. However, there's a little kick in the pants. It's not just 2.5 minutes. Yay! For every round you choose to use an action like you just did, or a full round action, you actually lose 1 round worth of holding your breath, exerting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, if you spent 12 rounds exerting yourself, that's all you get instead of the 24. You know.
Yes.
So you used 2 of your rounds just now. It's now Mortifer's turn. All right, Mortifer. You don't see any sharks in the area where you are, but you can hear the shifting around in the sand. What do you do?
And I saw the way that Dave was going, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jack. Mortifer's gonna bring old man back, and Mortifer is gonna use dimension swap to switch places with Einar.
Can you throw that in chat?
Of course.
Cool. So instantly swap your positions with you and the target and so on and so forth. So more or less, you and Einar are just gonna teleport different positions. Now the funny thing is, your range for this is 35 feet, which is a good thing. It's a halfway decent range because this creature can move. You know what I mean? So you are actually able to switch places with Einar, because we have to make sure it matches logistically, putting your ankle in the creature's mouth while Einar is just thrown back into the huge area that you were before.
I would like to think that this would shift its momentum slightly too, because he's going from carrying a 100-pound creature to a 1,500-pound creature.
You're not a 1,500-pound creature. You're a 150-pound creature.
Does the ice thing still apply?
sliding thing, that sand is whipping around you with greater ease than it would have otherwise.
Oh,
Oh, I
But-
thought it was just like I thought it was just like the area we were on.
But that doesn't
You
change the fact that there's still more surface to be displaced, right? So it's just not as extreme as it would have been if that ability wasn't on you. At
How
the
long does
moment.
that last then on me? I thought it was just an area effect. It's actually on me.
No,
It's
it's on
actually
you.
on you, and
Wait,
it's gonna
you
last.
interact with the
It's
world.
gonna last for 4 minutes.
Oh, in that case, the sand probably feels really nice as I'm sliding through.
So it's actually
Exfoliating.
Yeah. So moving on. That does, of course, you fuck with the head of a shark, which is not a smart creature. We'll worry about actually because it's still your turn. You did that transformation, Wade. Unless there's something you want to do as a swift action.
Let me see what I have that I can do that's swift. Oh, I did not mean to click that. Whoops, sorry. I mean, that's technically swift, but I don't think it would apply for the next round. Expansion's a full
end of
action.
the end of next round. So as long as you make it next round, you'll get the benefit. You'll get the
But
benefit.
it's concentration, so damage you'll take.
Yeah, damn it, you're gonna have to make concentration checks.
It's a
if you-
smart-
Vigor,
It's a-
Vigor's a full
it's a
standard
smart-
action as well, right? So I guess I will spend a power point on. Oh, do I want to do inevitable strike? Because I might just want to like heal the crap out of myself next round if I'm being like eaten by a shark.
I think your biggest threat is not necessarily the shark chomping on you, though that's problematic. It's the inevitable suffocation that's about to come.
Right. So I think I know what I'm going to do next round. So I think I'm good for now.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So then, for your swift action, then, if you'd like to do me a favor, make me a perception check.
You see sand.
Sure.
Taste it too. You actually notice that because of just your sheer size and how far down into the sand you are, one of your arms, because once again, when you transported with him, you transported with him like kind of like all balled up and in like a funny position. You actually feel one of your hands is not actually in the sands. Like you're close enough to the surface that you can actually feel one of your hands is jutting from the sand at the moment. All right. So, anyways, that's Jack. You can make a perception check to see if you notice that. But in the meanwhile, it's Shashik's turn.
I am going to run and stand over Aina because he probably sort of fell on the ground.
Mhm.
And I'm going to just cast good old biofeedback on myself and
Okay.
have my weapons out sort of protectively over him, just watching and waiting. Because I can't really attack people in the walls.
Is casting time for that one full round biofeedback? So then more or less you make a 5-foot step towards Einar, which gets you
Oh, it's a
closer.
round action, not a standard action.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I'm totally fine with that then.
Yeah, you just make a free 5-foot step and you start like concentrating on it, but you need next turn it kicks in. Yay. All right, after that is going to be the last shark's turn. Last shark-
DR2 is so good it's actually a full round action for that spell.
Yeah,
Surprising.
not a full round. but one
There are
round.
very few ways for me to take less damage, and this is the only way.
I'm just surprised. I'm just surprised that the spell for this effect is a 4-round action.
I think it's specifically for like me. It's terrible.
Okay, so that is going to be
I can check it though.
attack roll is
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
I don't want to do that.
so all of a sudden you hear Jack as like the Doppler effect is happening once again, and another shark comes bursting into the wall immediately next to you, right by where the stairs are, and tries to grab at you and bash it. But unfortunately, the stone and wood that was put up to like defend the walls on either side has actually stopped the shark once again. So literally, as its head comes blasting in, you actually get like a scrape along one of your arms from like the splintering of the wood coming towards you, and you can see like the teeth right by your side. You can almost feel like the heat off of the shark's mouth and breath and whatnot as it's trying to bite at you. But unfortunately, and once again, that blasted part wall now that's adjacent to you holds it back, that it difficultly moves kind of sideways and wriggles itself sideways and then starts swimming off slowly at first, trying to get to you. That brings us back to the top of the
standard
initiative.
action, Scott. I just
Huh?
looked it up. It's actually a standard action. I just
Okay, then you go and you stand over. Thank you. You go and stand over Einar, like you had said beforehand, and da. So Jack, it's no, not your turn yet. So now it's one of the other sharks. It did what it did before, and it starts swimming through and trying to burst into that side of wall that it did before, same exact spot, and it does successfully do so. It bursts through the wall, but the person it was trying to get to is Mortifer. Oh, Guess who's now where Mortifer was?
Is it me again?
It is, but Shashik is standing over you, who we were saying kind of fell prone.
They're significantly smaller than me too, so it should be harder for them
Yeah,
Well, Jack's kind of in that spot, so it comes bursting through and makes an attack at Jack.
Oh, Jack.
Oh, Jack, I'm nowhere near that.
Shashik.
I was like, wait.
You
That
know,
was a real
Jack.
plot twist.
Jack.
Well, they could attack that or that. Let go there.
Scott, before anything, when I peeked out, like, what did I see when I look up past the wooden thing? I'm curious. Is it just like sand and the castle?
Unfortunately, because you had a plan, I didn't go into the full description yet. As
Yeah.
soon as you lift that thing up, just the amount of just pale light that came in was extremely blinding.
Gotcha.
I allowed you to kind of like do your task and focus on what it was, despite like the piercing, blinding light. You weren't able to focus on anything else yet.
Okay.
On your turn, it's coming up.
Sure.
So I rolled absolutely horrible for my attack roll. So more or less, the thing comes bursting through the wall and tries to bite at you, Shashuk. But you actually are able to deftly stand out of the way, once again standing over Einar and defending against it. So even though it kind of like flops into the side of the wall, and so it's like flopping around for a minute trying to bite at you, it's coming at you, standing over Einar. And at one point in time, you even kick the thing in its nose to keep it at bay. You're not intimidated by this creature at all. And then eventually it kind of like gets its nose pushed out into the ground, starts digging down a little bit.
And do I get opportunity attack against it?
You do, because it's moving out of your range.
So, because it's an opportunity attack, I actually would have an extra +1 on this because I have my everything is designed for dual wielding on my sheet.
Yeah.
Just so you know, in general, if I'm ever attacking once.
6 points, thank you.
What's that 10 represent?
If it was a crit.
Awesome.
All right. So you're able to get you with your claw blades, you scratch up like the side of its tail as it makes its way into the ground. Once I said, like as it did before, its tail flops around as it has a hard time kind of like getting the momentum to get it under. So you get like that nice slash to the thing as it goes through. All right, after that one, there's going to be another one that tries to come through as well. This time, Jack, once again, you hear as it comes through, and it almost sounds like it's coming from the stairs, like the actual stairs themselves.
Stairs. Yeah.
Let me make an attack roll. Rolled super shitty again. Does an 11 hit you, Jack?
No. Doesn't even hit my touch, thank God.
So the things comes bursting through the stairs, literally blasting apart the stairs that you were standing on beforehand. You kind of like throw yourself off of them to get more or less underneath the thing, and it's like slow motion for a second as you throw yourself to the ground. It's like over you, teeth clamping, super fast. And as it misses you, and right before it can reach to where Einar and Shashik are, its nose dives back into the sand, and after a couple seconds, digs back into the undergrounds. Shashik, do you have multiple attacks of opportunity or no?
I don't think so.
Okay.
If I did, I wouldn't know how I would.
Combat reflexes. So if you don't have more than one attack of opportunity, you can't do anything. Both Einar and what's your name? Jack can make an attack of opportunity if you have a weapon in hand, but you're gonna take a -4 because you're prone.
No.
I do have human skill.
Negative.
No. So that goes to Jack's turn. Jack, what's your plan?
Can I get above ground now or no?
You can. When you lift the thing up, unfortunately, it's back down. It's going to make the DC harder because you don't have like as formed of sand.
All right. Then I have to quickly change plans, but I can still do something similar.
I'll tell you the DC is going to go from an 8 to a 12.
Yeah,
so.
that's going to be hard for me.
To lift it?
Yeah, 12 DC to lift it. A strength check, which I have no bonus to, and I don't want. It's like a 50-50 shot. It's worse than a 50-50 shot. But I now know that they're very, very, very sensitive to motion, regardless of where it's coming from. And as far as Jack is concerned, the longer we're in this tunnel, the more we're just waiting to be eaten. We are literally in an area where they can just pop out, attack, and run, and the best we can do is an attack of opportunity. So Jack is going to scramble to his feet and run past, just a little bit past Einar and Shashuk, and just shout, "Get above ground as fast as you can. We have no shot down here." And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach in my pocket and pull out a potion. And like he looks at it for a second and just kind of like shakes his head before popping it and downing it. And you just see as it kind of he swallows it, you see him kind of gag once, and then he gags a second time, and as his mouth opens, swarms of spiders crawl out of his mouth and onto the floor and the walls. And their plan is to just overload their senses with shit moving around so that they just start wildly attacking for 4 rounds, because I'm level 4. So that's what you just see Jack just blah, and just spiders crawl from his mouth and just start making their way down the tunnel back towards the house where we came from, but just back that way to buy us time.
1, that's fucking freaky.
Yes.
And 2, I don't know if I'm happier that Mortifer didn't see it than I would be if he did see it.
Well, it's not the only potion of those that I have. So
anyways, you guys see exactly as he just described, and he starts booking like a retreat.
Yeah.
After Jack's turn is going to be the one that originally grabbed Dave. It is going to continue moving and biting and everything at you. What's your face? So because of the fact that it's technically holding you, it doesn't have to make an attack roll. It just does damage.
How long am I skated, Dave? When does that wear off?
4 minutes.
Yeah. So it's 4 minutes.
Oh,
so it's not even really worth counting it for this combat.
But this is important. Do you have DR?
Yeah, 2.
What is it? 2? So I'm counting that as 3 for this damage. Or is it counting as a DR of 3? Because I'm just auto doing damage. I'm not making an attack roll because you're in.
I've also got 5 temporary hit points.
Okay. So, funny enough, I did 8 minus 3 minus 5. You took 0 damage again. So you took 0 damage as the thing starts like biting at you, working its way the sands, whipping away at your temporary health points around that field of force that you put around yourself. Its teeth biting into that field of force that you have around yourself, not really able to do much. Once again, it's just kind of like hold on to your ankle, not able to really deal any damage yet. But finally it pierces through, and one of its teeth like just barely cuts into your skin, letting out like 4 or 5 drops of blood. And that's all it needed. That is its turn. Einar.
Okay. So, am I free to move about? Nothing's grabbing me or holding me.
There's nothing in the tunnel with you other than Shashuk and
Okay,
spiders. And
what is blocking this hole?
a piece of wood. You just
Hunk
need
of
a strength check to
Yep.
move.
It's just a block of wood.
Yeah, big like a big wooden like we'll call it panel or an old door or a part of a wall.
All right, so I'm gonna go up to this block of wood and I'm just going to cast Defy Gravity on it.
That'll work. Goodbye.
Fuck this block of wood. Go fly into space.
I'm sorry I left. I could have lifted it for you guys.
Is
but-
this just the fight where everyone uses their cool new spells and Shashuk, as essentially a rogue, is just like, "Nyeh."
We just gotta get out of the tunnel, man. Because like, as far as I'm concerned, in and out of game, like these things are just gonna go bust through constantly, and we're just gonna be on the defensive until we all die. It's a death by a thousand cuts.
So do you just push the thing 20 feet up, or do you like push it up like a foot and then just throw it with your hand so it just goes skittering across?
Well, I would
since
probably
it's
like I'd cast it as a move over. I would like just push it out of the way, and then like because it basically is weightless.
Yeah.
It just moves out of the way.
Cool.
Like 5 feet up in the air.
Yep. Easily gets out of the way. Even more than that, somebody hits their head. Sure, no problem.
And I
It's moving out
use
of
the
way.
rest of my move action to climb out.
Yep. And so it literally will take your whole turn to get up to the thing, move it, and climb your way out of the tunnel. And so you're literally standing right above the tunnel. Dave, until the end of your next...
You know what? If I have enough move, just for extra protection, I will climb on top of the door thing.
You literally just get outside of the tunnel for now.
Okay.
Yeah. But Dave, you just so you know, until the end of your next turn, you have the dazzled condition, which is a reminder, just -1 to attack rolls and sight-based perception checks, nothing crazy.
Because it's very bright light.
Pale light in your face, exactly. So you take
I actually had Shadow Mask on me when I did this.
Lies. Whose character was that? Who's the shadow character? Was that Mike before?
I don't remember.
Shadow character. What are you talking about?
Also, that was
the X.
Yeah. That's why I was like, no, like I
The
just remembered who it
needle
was.
and
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
yeah. Moving on. So, anyways, let sleeping dogs lie.
I don't care.
Anyways, so you get the thing out of the way, you climb up, you're standing up there, and probably right as you're like up there and happy to be out of the tunnel, you come to the realization of your precarious situation that you're now like, oh, fuck, I'm on the sand still. All right, so after you, Einar, is Mortifer. All right, Mortifer, you're being dragged through the sands. It's gnawing at your leg. What do you do? Do you hit it with your axe?
Okay, so
I am not ramen.
is there any is there any kind of penalty to try to hit this thing while I'm being dragged through the sand?
Yes, you're in sand.
Well, I mean, okay. So
He's asking what it is.
yes.
I would probably say -8.
Okay. So instead of attacking, I am going to get the hell out of the sand by enlarging. It's just sand. Wouldn't
That
hurt me to
works.
burst through it.
That works.
My hand's already above, so I'm just going to double in size. And I guess I will weigh a lot more because when I enlarge,
Yeah, you're still going to count as a tenth of whatever you enlarge to.
yeah, it's not going to.
No, you're fine. You can click the power on there or whatever. Oh, doesn't.
Oh yeah, we don't have the
Expands.
description in there. There it is. Expansion.
Yeah, all
That's what it's
those, all those things. So you
It's
times
concentration.
8 in mass and in size. So I mean, you just get significantly larger. So it's literally one of those things. This thing's biting onto your ankle, and all of a sudden, like, grows so much larger, so large that your ass is still in the sand, but your arms and legs are completely burst through, and like your eyes are above the sand, but even if your mouth is still underneath it once this happens. The thing which had its teeth completely wrapped around your ankle and just barely did a cut into it, and was just getting a taste of blood, which is exciting it. Now it's like barely holding on to a tiny little
Yeah,
flabby
this should be an
part of your
attack on
leg.
its jaw to somebody just break its jaw with the knife.
It's one of those things where it just kind of like as it grows, because this is like instantly grows, as it grows gradually over the course of a few seconds, it kind of like pushes the mouth outward. So it's just barely holding it, like pinching your skin more or less. And so like you get massive in size. That's your standard action. You still got to move and a swift if you can do anything with it.
So can I try to get out of its grapple with a move action, or is that a standard? Like what was
Technically a standard, but I'm actually allowing you to just instantly break grapple. Like you just break the grapple. You're so big.
Yeah, you got too big. It let go.
that? Okay, well
Yeah,
if I'm that big,
it's-
I'm
it's-
going to.
It's technically large size, just so you know, and now you're huge sized. So it could actually bite back onto you, but it would take a moment.
Sometimes those natural grapple abilities, though, they require creatures creatures smaller than it.
Correct. But that's for like swallow whole and so on and so forth.
Okay.
But this is like the mouth of a shark.
Okay.
Sharks eat whales. So
Well, in that case, I'm going to try to just use my movement to climb up out of the sand if I can.
and you do so. You stand up. That happens. With
All right.
ease.
Well, feels good to be Mortifer.
So
Feels
Mortifer,
good to be Mortifer. Now I'm gonna be
Mortifer-
ready to hit this thing if it comes by me again.
you're also going to be dazzled until the end of your next turn, just that you're aware. Once again, it's -1 to attack rolls and perception checks. And when you stand up and you look about in the pale light, it's hard to look about and see. You actually see that now Einar is standing above and the door's floating, like it's kind of spinning a little bit, but floating right nearby where Einar has just climbed. and stood up.
Mortifer's very dazed.
Yeah.
The door's just floating away. It's like, oh.
It's hard to take in anything else at the moment. It's really hard to see where through how things are going.
I'll go
Shasha,
ahead and use my swift action just to go ahead and get inevitable strike ready, which gives me a +5 on attack rolls.
Shashak, you have a
see-
whole bunch of spiders crawling towards
Yeah,
you.
I see Jack vomit spiders. I look back and see Ina just like levitate a door, and I'm just like, I have a lot of questions right now.
You
No,
have powers too.
Yeah, but he doesn't understand his powers. He just uses them. You actually know what you're doing. And he's gonna run as far as he can, join Ina up there. Be
Sure.
dazzled.
You easily can run and climb up and everything. That was technically only takes your move to get up next to Einar. You still have a standard and a swift left. You could actually climb on the door.
But I wouldn't do that because that's a little dumb.
The door is floating above ground.
I mean, yes. How big is the door? Is it like a two? Could
So
two
the
people hang
hole-
on it?
The hole
it
that
was
you crawled
underwater?
out of was large enough that Mortifer could climb through it. So the piece of wood that was on top, that was placed on top of it, overhung that by a bit. So it's actually easily two people can go on top of it, but you have to worry a little bit about balance.
Rose could have saved
Three-
Jack.
I'm acrobatic.
That's exactly
so
where
now...
that's exactly where my mind went.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I now that you mention it, I will happily try to do like an acrobatics or something to try and get up there.
I won't lie.
I
you
was at least
said
being
that.
subtle about it.
You said that. It took me a moment to realize what the fuck you're talking. And then I was like, "Oh my god, that's amazing!"
I'll never let go, Jack.
Do I get a level from the laughter?
Yeah, when we play that campaign again, you definitely.
Hang on,
get a
I gotta
level.
switch the song being played to Dark Souls to like, what's it?
Near.
Celine Dion.
Far.
Bunch of people playing.
Apparently, we can lose partnership and get banned from Twitch.
Oh yeah,
for using
100%.
music.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Why would you not?
That was
That's-
always the case. It's just no.
Usually, you would get like a warning or something
Well, that's
first, but
because
apparently
ta-
they're just dropping hammers.
As they should have been from day one, but then Amazon bought them and now they have billions of dollars at stake, so they need to be. It's the same thing with YouTube. YouTube was the same way. They're like, it's fine. Then Google is like, no, it's not fine. So they're like, oh, never mind.
It's just,
So
it's one of
I'm
those
willing
things-
to do an
what if it's by
acrobatics check.
accident.
To get up on there.
Go ahead, I guess.
Yeah, then you go right ahead. You go, boy.
Don't do that at me. Eh.
You go, girl. Is that better?
So the door is a little awkward because you literally see the thing float and you look around, you get like a ding idea. So you literally grab the wood and you try to like spin it like to move it in place, but it ends up over spinning. So as you like grab the thing and you go to step underneath it, all of a sudden it like comes up behind you and you like duck as the thing that almost smashes you in the back of the head.
I don't know why I would be spinning it.
Well, spin it to be level it because it wasn't flat. It was like
Oh, okay.
yeah. So it's like one of those, oh shit, you step back and then you grab the thing, you level it, and then you start like scrambling to get on. Technically, yes, you're on the piece of wood. No, you did
I'm
not
like
do
not
so
standing,
gracefully.
not doing anything.
It's like you're clinging onto the thing and it's still like sideways and still like slightly shifting a little
I
bit.
say, Ina, get on. This is a brilliant idea. Not like nearly falling off it.
He only
Man.
weighs 9 pounds. He won't.
Well, yeah, but I can control it. It's just that I'm not controlling it at this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't know that.
I know.
so you're like again, you're technically off of the ground, but like you're clinging on, trying to like not fall back off.
I am
I
not
s-
Legolas.
Yeah, no. All right, that's Shashik's turn, which is pretty awesome. After that, Einar.
Wait, I gotta make a sail for this thing. This is how we're gonna get to the castle. This thing lasts for 40 minutes, and I can cast it again. I'm gonna make a sail.
That is a
and
little.
we're gonna sail on this door.
Actually, let me. I might have like enough cloth in my.
I'll just run
We've
behind.
got a ton
I
of
don't-
robes, guys. We could just make the monks' robes into sails.
Okay. Anyway, so whose turn is it?
Oh, jeez. It's one of the sharks. Dave, you just hear like an explosion of stuff happening downstairs. Jack, you actually see it. You
know
don't.
exactly what's happened. If I hear an explosion and probably Mortifer saying like Mortifer.
No. Mortifer, that's off to the side. So down below, Jack, you hear some stuff. Einar, Jack, you actually see in the tunnel 2 sharks come bursting in and start flopping around and like mawing at spiders and eating spiders and whatnot.
Good. Eat
And
their
eventually kind of
turns.
like wiggling away into it. One of the other sharks starts swimming over its way over towards where what's his name is Mortifer is. So Mortifer, do me a favor, roll me a perception check.
Boom. So it's a 23 because I lose one. You said. 'Cause of
Correct.
Dave.
So like it's bright, but the thing is like your hands are so massive. It's like wearing like a poker visor, like an old person's poker visor that comes like way too far out. Like you've seen those visors where you're like, why? It's one of those. You can actually see literally the sail of the dorsal fin of the shark coming towards you as it's like coming at you. So when it makes its attack roll, it does not catch you off guard. So my
Seems kind of
attack
like
roll
a
is
seems
okay.
kind of like a evolutionary bad thing to have that telltale dorsal fin. Tells you where you are.
Also, I'm sure breathing in sand isn't very fun.
They evolve.
They're probably earth
Magic-
elemental creatures.
I would say magically evolved.
Sand lungs.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I'm
If that's your
taking my-
biggest concern in D&D, just wait till you come across aberrations. You're just
So
be like,
Mortifer-
that doesn't make any sense.
This is what happens. You see the thing coming at you, and all of a sudden, it like bursts up from the sands to bite at your leg. But like because you're so big and it's easy for you to do, you just like shift your hip and move your leg back a little bit, and it goes sailing by. If you were a little puny person, man, that probably would have like completely taken off their head and shoulders and brought them into the ground. But
Goes
You was
sailing
easy
by,
sense.
you say?
it technically does do, you know. Wait, hold on, let me check an ability real quick. Oh no, it doesn't. Okay. Yep.
Oh. So hold on. If I cast
Yep.
I use my
Yep.
my
Yep.
notable strike.
Yep.
Does that apply
Yes.
to both standard
Yep.
action and
No, just now.
okay, so it's just my next
Your
attack.
next
Your
attack.
next attack.
Okay. So I've got a +5 and a -1 on this.
Yep. So that's a 17. That's a. Oh, is this your correct size? Oh no, it's two different
That's
damages.
just the
My
damage.
apologies. Yep.
So it would be a 17.
And you didn't apply anything in there. So the damage, your attack roll is a 17. Your damage is a 21.
I thought I had to roll damage. So, I clicked the weapon instead of the attack. I was supposed to click the attack, right?
Correct. You just did it wrong, which is fine. So you do 21 points of damage. 21 points of damage. You drop your maul on this thing. You like explode down on this thing. You actually break its fin. So as the thing comes crashing down, you actually break the thing's fin. You fucking harm the shark. So it's large. It's not tiny.
Like waiting for it, and the thing pops up and just bam.
It's still about the same size as Mortifer was before he transformed. A little bit smaller, right? Before Mortifer transformed. It's a big
Cute
creature.
little sandfishy dies.
But you didn't kill it. You just heavily injured the thing as it swims away. All right,
I'm
that's
okay
its
with that.
turn. After that is going to be the one that's actually over by your leg, Mortifer.
Mhm.
Oh, no, wait. No, it's not. It's Jack's turn.
Yay, it's my turn. Well, hopefully the spiders keep them occupied. Now I need to get the hell out, so I'm going to exit this place.
So you're running past through the spiders?
No. So I sent the spiders in the way we came from, not
Oh, okay.
towards the door, like away.
My apologies. I thought it was that way and you ran that way.
No,
That's
I
fine.
ran.
You're
I
good.
turned around. I ran past them, sent them spiders that way, so that we can have a clear shot out.
You're good.
So that's I'm going out. I want to get out. That's what I'm doing.
You're good. So character concepts are like, 'cause anybody can have the same powers, but character concepts are a big thing. I imagine if it was like a Shashik-like character that vomited out spiders, as the spider swarm was more or less coming back towards him, I can see a Shashik-like character kind of like running through and almost like jumping through the area where the spiders were or whatever, because he's more acrobatic. Whereas as Jack does it, the spiders just kind of like open up a pathway around him to allow him to get through no problem. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, so you, as you're kind of like running through the path of spiders, they open an area for you to comfortably do so around you. You can come through the other side. Once again, it's just your move action.
Yep.
You can get up and stand next to Einar, and you see what Jack's doing, like holding on to the big hunk of wood.
That's what I'm doing. I'm holding onto the big hunk of wood.
Shashik.
I don't know why you think these guys have so much in common.
I don't know. But
He's a
you
drug
two.
dealer. I'm a drug taker.
exactly.
You two have
You're
so
a
much in
client, and I
I
am
take
your
that compliment.
supplier.
It's okay. I do it to Maggie and Doxy all the time.
That's true. All right.
So
yeah.
now you guys are Maggie and Doxy.
But
That's
that's
all.
smart. I'm gonna try and get up on the piece of wood as well.
Okay. So you're gonna do an acrobatic trick for me, please?
I'm gonna do my best.
Not well.
5. I
You
don't get on
roll
the wood.
so poorly
Hey, I didn't
that
roll
as you
natty
try
one.
to get on the wood, you actually cause the thing to completely flip over, and it makes Shashik fall on the ground, prone on the ground.
But am I dangling from it?
You just know you are also on the ground, but not prone. You actually knocked poor Shashik prone
Yeah,
with
it's
your
fine.
lack of acrobatics. You still have a swift. Do you care to do anything with it?
No, I'm good. There's nothing I can really do with a swift.
And that leaves the shark that was originally holding on to your leg there, Wade. It just going to kind of like burst up and try to get another bite at your ankle, calf kind of area. It hits.
Fishy.
Hooray.
What is it?
It hits.
What did it roll?
A 19 total.
All right, that's it.
Yep. It bursts upwards. It bites on, gets like a chunk of your calf into its jaws. So it's like biting it as hard as it can. And I actually rolled extremely well for damage. So you have a 2 DR. So you're going to take 9 points of damage from the thing actually sinking its claws into your calf and like literally like ripping at the muscle that's down there. It's now Einar's turn. Einar, these two fools are next to you. The doors, the thing is slowly spinning in the air.
I'm playing whack-a-mole, and these two are like.
Okay, so
Hey, my plan was, listen, I had a good plan. I'd keep them distracted with spiders for a few rounds. That's actually, come on, I was out of the box thinking.
There's 4 of them, and 2 of them are distracted. If
Exactly.
those 2 weren't, you guys would be fucked. Go ahead, Dave.
All right, so I'm going to use my move action to take control of the the floating door thing.
Mhm.
I'm gonna bring it down. I'm gonna bring it down to the ground, and basically,
Like probably a foot above the ground, so it's an easy step up.
yeah, and like 5 foot step on, 5 foot step onto it.
God, I keep clicking the wrong thing. I'm sorry, guys.
I'll bring it like 5 feet off the ground, just so like just not touching it, but easily for not too difficult for the other guys to climb up on.
Mhm.
And man, regular action. Can I when I look around, like, can I see? Like, what do I see? What perception check?
So perception, you're still dazzled.
Yeah, so
which is
yeah, I'm
huge.
dazzled, and I just press the up button and get a bunch of garbage. So it's gonna be whatever I roll -1.
Waiting.
Oh wow.
Okay, so unfortunately, you're just still dazzled from the bright light in your eyes. It's kind of hard to take in much around you. You do see Mortifer off to the side, and Mortifer is just swung his hammer down. He says like some booming words, "Oh, stupid fishy," and like is pulling his hammer back up. And that's what you see as he's like looking around at the ground around him. Mortifer seems to be doing fine. He's just ginormous and way off to the side over there. You probably owe him a really big beer, but you can't really take much more in.
All right, can I see any of the sand sharks?
Not at the moment. Oh, there's the one that's kind of like holding on to Mortifer's calf.
Can I attack that one?
Yeah, Mortifer is only about 30 feet away from you guys are right now. 30, 40 feet away is where that shark
I have
is.
35. I have a 35-foot range with this telepathic lash.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Wisdom save DC 16. Will save DC 16.
Awesome. Oh, that's why you're not working. I'm gonna fail. Where's my check?
You never know. He could nat 20 it.
Mm-hmm.
You could. There are 5 rolls you can make.
What's what's the number?
16.
I actually rolled high enough to resist that. I'm sorry, Dave.
Yeah, well. All right, and that's my turn. I'm on the thing. It's floating 5 feet above the ground, and that's my turn.
Let's just assume that because it has a taste of blood in its mouth, the shark is in a frenzy right now. So
In a frenzy.
it's well past any of higher thinking that a shark might have. It's in his most base mind. All right, after that is going to be Mortifer.
All right. So are there 2 sharks in range right now? The one I hurt and then the other one?
Because they have such a high speed, the other one's probably out of your... What's your range of your weapon again?
I'm enlarged right now, so
15. Oh, Jesus. Actually, the other one technically is just in your range.
okay, I want to try to finish off the one that originally came by, so it doesn't get another attack on me.
It's like right at the extent of your range.
So I'm going to hold off. I can cast a swift action. I can do a swift action after my regular action, right?
Correct.
Okay.
You don't have a +5 for this attack currently.
Right. So I think I'm going to save that. Well, it doesn't really make a difference. I'll go ahead and just use it now. Might as well.
Sure. You keep track of how many power points you're spending, correct?
Yep.
Because that's, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe? Or 5.
I've spent 5.
6.
I'm down to 7.
Dimensional swap costs how many?
3.
So it's 3 plus expansion is 4 plus 2 of these is 6.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm down to half.
Cool. All right. You make your attack roll, sir. With your +5.
They're not within cleaving distance of each other, are they?
Is this your first turn where you're not dazzled? I think it is.
I dazzle you every turn, baby.
Yep, it's your first turn where you're not dazzled, and it's in exactly 30 feet away. It's
But
exactly
the 2
the
sharks
far...
are not within cleaving distance of each other, though?
No, they're not adjacent to one another.
All right, then I'm just going to do a regular attack here. This will get a +5. 15.
That's a good thing you got that +5. You hit.
God, I've rolled shitty numbers. Okay, and I'm enlarged, so I will be rolling 46 + 7.
Jesus. So 20 points of damage. So after you already smashed the thing once, the thing is trying to swim back down. And so as it does so, because like I said, its dorsal fin is broken, so its ability to kind of like regulate where it is that's trying to go and feel when it's like just barely cresting the surface and stuff like that. All of like its internal functions aren't working so well. So it like struggles to get its tail fin up and get under, and literally as you see that, you just do like almost like you're golfing, like 4. You swing along the ground and you connect the thing so hard, you literally send its tail with the whole tail with a bit of its backside flying across the horizon as you just leave the thing bloodied, and this what's it called, sand around where it was, but is no longer visible, starts to grow redder and redder.
That's one for Mortifer. Doesn't count on my numbers, though.
After that, it's going to be
Can I get on the door?
It is. You don't even have to make an acrobatics check now.
I will unequip my weapons and equip my bow and just watch and wait until I can see one.
Okay, just kind of go up there and spend your
There's
time.
one
ready in
technically
action.
latched onto my leg or by my leg, right? So couldn't he hit that one?
You can't ready in action just because how much manipulation of equipment you're doing, but you're fine. What were you saying?
There was one that was like by my leg. Couldn't he shoot at that one?
Nah, I mean I have to put like 2 things away and equip a bow.
Because he's not just dropping and drawing; he's like putting it away and
makes
drawing, so it takes time.
Gotcha.
So that's going to be Sheshik's turn. Now it's going to be that shark. So there's going to be another round of them kind of like bursting into the grounds below. Let me just make a check to see if that if they both do this. So one of the sharks comes bursting through to the ground below and is completely distracted by the spiders as it was. Another one decides, because it hears all the vibrations and everything going on above, it notices that there's movement happening over there, and all of a sudden, what's your name? Jack, you see, like, you kind of like, it's a bit bright, but you start to see the dorsal fin coming towards you of another shark.
Okay.
Once again, because you can see the fin, it doesn't have as high of an attack roll. And that's a good thing, because more or less you see this thing coming and you're like, okay, I understand how it works. And you like kind of plant your feet and you get ready for it. And as the thing's coming, you can see like its fin doesn't travel perfectly straight. There's like some slight movement to the fin as its whole body moves as part of the swimming.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see right as it gets to the point where it's going to jump, you can see it kind of moves a little bit to the right. You know it's going to jump up to the left. You take that moment to like jump and dive like face first into the sand over to the right hand side, allowing the thing to once again sail over you. Shashuk and Einar get like this gorgeous view as they see the thing come flying up next to them, like sailing majestically through the air as it smashes into the ground on the other side with no grace whatsoever, and eventually wiggles its way back underneath the ground. And like I said, the other one's kind of like smashing through down below. It's Jack's turn.
No attacks of opportunity on that one?
None of them have prepared weapons.
Yeah. I don't want to fight these things. I have no interest in like killing every single one.
There's only 3.
Only 3, and it only takes one of them to drag someone under the sand, and then they're just gone.
Mortifer's just too big to be dragged now.
Right, Mortifer's safe, but if any one of us get yanked under the sand and we can't fight back, God forbid it's me or fucking Einar specifically, or maybe just me, because I don't have any way of fighting it back, then I don't want to fight these things. I'd rather just hopefully keep them distracted. So I will
Sheshik might be able to fight back because Sheshik's
That's why I said maybe it's just
a
me.
great weapon underneath the sand. He actually got
Right.
little daggers. He can be like, you know.
I will once again try and get back on the piece of wood.
Okay, that's easy. You don't even have to make a check. It's one of those, even Sheshik could like throw down a hand to pull you up,
Cool.
or Einar can. Doesn't really matter.
And
Easily
then
done.
from there, you just see me panicking going through just potions, like looking for something useful, but I don't do anything else.
Okay, so do you actually retrieve something from your bag or no?
I mean, I'll pull my dagger just to be safe,
Okay.
but other than that, not much.
Unlike everybody else who has their weapon on them, he has to dig through his bag.
Yeah,
and like,
pretty much.
oh yeah, and like puts it out like on the ground, on the floor next to him, so it's like at the ready.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. After that is going to be the other one that's been attacking you, Wade. This is the one that's literally on your leg. So it's not grappled. So
I killed your brother.
it's not technically grappled, so it has to make an attack roll. What's your AC? Because I beat a 16.
18.
So as the thing like had its like scissor like teeth in there, at one point in time, finally you were able to kind of like throw a ham fist down at it and like just knocked it like off of you, and it like wiggled its way under the dirt, and then almost immediately swung around and popped back up. And as it comes up, it literally tries to bite you in the ass, but you just like swing around and like open backhand the thing in the side of its head and send it kind of like flopping off to the side and burrowing back underneath the ground again.
Are you sure I used my hand and I didn't swing at it?
Well, the thing is, like, as it does that, does not provoke an attack of opportunity, and as it burrows back under the ground, it's burrowing within your range, and so it doesn't move out of your range, so it's safe. Yeah.
Nice.
After it's Einar's turn.
It's my turn?
Mhm.
Okay, so is Jack and Shashuk on the thing with me?
Correct.
All right, so I'm going to use my move action to raise it up 20 feet, so it's now 25 feet up in the air.
Oh,
Right.
you guys are like at eye level with Mortimer.
Hi,
And-
friends.
And do I see any of these land shark things?
Hmm.
Is that
There's
a
the
yes?
one that's occasionally jumping up and biting at Mortimer, and then you guys can hear those harder to hear way up here. You definitely can't see into the dark tunnel down below. They're still trying to attack at the spiders that are down there.
All right.
So those clearly have
If,
taken its attention.
if one pops up, I'm going to prepare an action to cast a spell. If one pops up, I'm going to mind thrust it.
Okay, sure. After Einer's turn, it's going to be Mortimer. There's that one that's burrowing back up and down into the ground. It's currently out of your reach, but you can prepare an action to hit it when it comes up.
Friends, should I get on there with you? I'm still skated, so I don't weigh as much, and I can shrink down as I grab the thing.
I believe you still technically weigh. You just weigh less for the purpose of moving you. You know, it doesn't actually reduce your weight. It reduces your weight for the purpose of dragging you
It's
across the ground.
it's the
Yeah,
weight
for the purposes of dragging.
Like if you stepped on a ship, it would still sink.
How much weight can your little floaty wood hold?
not yours. That's how many.
Not 1,500 pounds if I shrink down?
It's probably 200 pounds per caster level or some shit.
Let me cast. I'll quote unquote cast it again.
I'm gonna do Pathfinder levitate.
I just don't know if I want to sit down here playing whack-a-mole by
No,
myself
levitate.
while you guys are having your magic carpet ride.
Levitate's the magical version of it. You can levitate, move yourself, another creature, or an object up and down. If it's an object. 100 pounds per level. So
400 pounds.
yep. Do you
Not
have the?
me.
So it's exactly 400 pounds, which is a good thing that the three of you guys are very light because that thing is also kind of heavy. So you guys are able to it's like more or less at its max limit with all of you on there.
Well,
No
I
more
guess that
is
doesn't leave me
allowed.
much choice other than to prepare an action.
Okay. So you prepare an
As
action.
you look on wantingly, the door.
I should dimension swap again and just
Oh, you what a dick.
But I'm not allowed. Nobody's allowed.
Shasha,
Yeah, you just baseball swing it.
do you prepare an action as well?
Yeah, but I also will say, I know if you're moving this thing, you should probably start getting to the castle.
Can you move it?
I can move it up and down.
once.
Oh,
So technically, the way this-
actually,
it's
can
weightless.
right? Can I shout, Mortimer, push this thing?
Can I use a movement just to push it, or do I need to use an action to push it?
You move it, yeah. I mean, it depends. If you're just pushing it, you can walk over there and just push it. It's interacting with.
I want to use my action to prepare to attack, and I just want to
Okay, so you can walk over to them because your speed is high enough, and you have skate, which actually increases your speed. So you can go over and you can be behind them. And once again, you can kind of give them a little push to say 30 feet or so. Nothing crazy. It's kind of the extent of your reach doubled. You know what I mean? Because it sails. You can use your standard action if you want to more or less grab the thing and discus it. They're all holding on ah!
How far are we from solid ground?
How far from the castle are we?
So as you guys are finally your attention's not as pulled to the ground and the danger of the sharks down below, and you're kind of taking it around you. You look about and you see once again there's not just one structure that's here. There is the massive castle that's up ahead. There's also the barracks that's to your side, and a few other buildings as well that you're less interested in. Actually, the biggest temple of what's his name, Bad, that happens to be inside this region as well. But those aren't big concerns of yours. The biggest concern, I imagine, is the castle. The castle is about 800-900 feet from where you are, is a quick guess. So it wouldn't take you very long to get over to that area. However, you are a floating hunk of wood with 3 people on it, exposed in the sky, in an area that's very well defended. So
How
obviously
far can I
speed is
move?
better than hanging out here waiting for crossbows or longbows to.
How far can I move enlarged with skate?
So large doesn't increase your speed at all, because you have to imagine even though you're bigger, so you have a longer stride, you kind of move slower.
It actually evens out. You're moving the same speed because you're just moving more.
But with skate on?
So skate increases your speed by I think 15.
Yeah, I think it's 15.
So
It's
45.
15 normally. It's 0 uphill and 30 downhill.
Yeah. So 15. So they were about 30 feet from you, so you can walk over to them. You can walk 15 feet with them, and then kind of push them 15 more because that's your reach, and then I would allow momentum of that push to go 15 more beyond that. So you'd actually be able to walk
Okay,
to
I'm
them
gonna
and
go-
move them 45 feet.
I'm gonna try to move them and walk as close to them as I can while still preparing an action to attack if something comes up.
You can do everything I just said.
Yeah.
Because
Done.
again, you're not giving them a shove. All right, cool. So once again, the sharks down below for this round and one more round are completely distracted by the spiders. Nom, 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 nom.
Good. Yep. That's last round. 4 rounds.
That's Jack's turn. Jack, do you do anything else? Or are you still
No,
just kind
I'm
of
just
like,
hanging on.
yeah, like, oh God, Mortifer. And then you literally look and Mortifer's like head is the size of your body.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, Jack. It's like, you're like smelling his breath. And he's, and he starts to like push you. And you're like, okay, this could go 2 ways. Most likely down. And then that one shark is going to come sailing over and he's going to do the whole like jump up and try to grab at you there, Mortifer. Triggers an attack from both you guys. The higher dex is Ollie, so you can get the attack first.
Phew, I did it wrong.
Hey, my
It's
weapon's
okay.
out now.
I
Yeah,
miss.
yeah, you
Don't
make
worry
an
about
attack
it.
of opportunity with your dagger.
Yeah, why not?
That's something that's like 20 feet beneath you.
Oh, never mind.
There you go.
I throw it at him.
Don't worry about me. I just miss.
Okay. So the thing jumps and you see it coming, but once again, it's still like really fucking bright out here.
Yeah.
And so it's like
That's
stupid.
right. We're also on a moving thing, and Shashik isn't like kneeling; he's standing.
Mhm.
So
Mortifer?
I would argue because he has. I don't know if this is going to matter, but I would argue because he's floating above and he's got a
Higher
good
ground +1. Yeah.
yeah, there's not
Doesn't
enough
help.
to actually make a matter.
Yeah.
Don't worry
Alright.
about it. I rolled Garbo.
He has to make a will save DC 18.
Oh, that's right. You had prepared that action, didn't you?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Will save DC 18.
I do not make that will save. You both roll your damages for me.
22.
It's funny they had an attack roll on there.
I made it as just a weapon attack.
You can just press the damage portion, so just the damage.
Oh,
pops
that's
up.
true. I could just take off the attack.
Well, I mean, like, 'cause you know how you can roll attack and damage,
There
or
we
you can do like what Mortifer just did, attack and the damage. It's like what you just. Yeah, there you go. I think you did it right. Anyway, so you do 22 points damage, the first one you rolled. So you mind thrust the fuck out of this relatively uninjured thing. So you mind thrust the fuck out of it. So as it's jumping up at Mortifer before it connects, all of a sudden it's like boom in its head, completely like breaks its frenzy it has going on for a second. So it's like flopping midair, but it doesn't matter. As it's flopping midair, Mortifer comes with like a side swipe with the maul that he has, and just as he connects to the thing, it just ripples through its body like slow motion. The hammer hits, there's a ripple effect through its entire body, and then it just like explodes outwards. It's like a spray of blood and meat that goes in every direction. This is very much a Jaws moment, as once again you explode the shark. So there's
Oh, my dinner!
guts and blood raining
Mortifer
everywhere.
wanted to have
Yeah,
fresh
thanks.
fishy tonight.
So well, I mean, it's
Technically,
fresh.
I don't think they're fish. I think they're mammals.
They are fish.
Yeah, Shashik isn't that smart.
Oh, okay.
Shashik's smart enough to think he's smart.
Oh, okay. Like, am I stupid?
It's a multi-layered joke, Scott.
It's bad if I'm arguing with Shashik. I must be stupid. All right. So, anyways, and as it explodes outwards and dies, Mortifer can clearly see no other. Even if you guys spend a couple moments to look, maybe Mortifer has one hand lazily on the thing, is kind of like walking in that direction while looking behind him. Nothing is chasing after you. They ate at the spiders for a while and decided this is not a fight that's worthwhile and give up.
That's all right. They don't count toward Mortifer's freedom anyway.
And we will deal with the trek to the castle in a moment. In the meanwhile, why don't we take our second break?
Sweet. All right. We'll be back in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Raw. Welcome back, everybody.
Boom.
More Dark Sun.
Yes.
Go!
So there you guys are, exposed, open and exposed. Mortifer standing on the
Nice.
sands beneath his feet, his sandals protecting him from the burning heat of said sands, as he's holding this thing and starting to move slow at first, and then I imagine picking up speed, trying to run towards the actual castle itself. So everybody's there, bow in one hand, dagger and bag in the other, and probably an umbrella up and over his head to allow him to have shade over his eyes, right?
Yeah, well, I was actually thinking I was going to use
Yeah.
ectoplasmic creation just to make us cover.
Oh, sure. What kind of cover?
Just
Doesn't that take a
something-
minute to cast?
It takes a minute to cast.
I mean, a minute is a long time. If
Well, I
Mortifer
can cast it while he's pushing.
I would say it would take a full minute to cast. Mortifer double moving would get there in exactly a full minute.
Oh, okay. I forgot how close this freaking place was.
It's 900 feet-ish.
Yeah, 3 football
Okay.
fields is a lot with sand sharks attacking, but it's not that long. And
And double
Yeah,
move
because
90
he's
feet
considering
times
it
10.
running it.
plus
like,
double moving while skating.
yeah.
So 45 times 2, 90, but you know what I mean? So he would get there in
Getting
exactly a
your
minute.
jog on.
So you got get covering over your eyes, either the
Yeah, yeah.
umbrella open or a hand over your face, staring at the thing up ahead. Everybody's a bit wary as you're running along. So you are jogging along, Mortifer, pushing this thing in front of you.
I love the visual of this.
This is one of those things I would love to see fucking sketched out. You know what I mean? Like just
Yeah.
pushing,
Especially
like
because
pushing
you're
stuff.
skating.
It's like a cartoon. Yeah, I'm skating along at like 24 feet tall,
Okay.
pushing a chunk of wood with you three just like riding.
I don't see it like roller derby style skating. You know what I mean? Like I see it's almost like as his big lurching foot steps forward, the foot continues to slide, and then it finally grabs hold of some sort of traction. He uses that to launch himself.
I'm
and it
exactly
slides.
imagining how Mario ice skates.
Oh god.
Exactly how I'm imagining.
And
Every
then
time
Dark
he jumps,
Sun,
he does a spin.
Yeah.
Dark,
I just
Dark
make you
Sun
guys sick
just
by spinning you around
transforms
like a
into
pizza. Just
bright
like-
rainbow.
The Magic Kingdom.
No, it's
The
one of those
Mushroom
things with.
Kingdom.
Oh.
That'd be a
So
dick move just to spin you guys a whole bunch right now, wouldn't it?
like I said, just grab him and do like a fucking shot put throw, or discus. Sorry. So you're running along and doing this. Everybody else is looking. Mortifer, you're a bit distracted. You got this. You can actually kind of like leaning into the running along. You could actually like have the thing just over your eyes, allowing you to protect you from the glaring sun as you're running. So you can see the ground pretty easily. You can see what you're coming up on. The three of you make me perception checks, and
My
then
best
after they're
roll.
done, Mortifer, you can make me one too.
Sure.
18, not bad.
Mortifer.
Well, good perception checks. Except for that one, when I came out of the hole.
Do you want me to make one now?
Please. Okay, good. So I'm glad the two of you guys rolled really well. So specifically, Mortifer first. As you're rushing forward, one of the things that you see as you're rushing forward is they can't see it from where they are because, once again, the sun is coming down bright, and the angle that they have makes it hard to see the ground. It's not really a focus of theirs. They're looking ahead and up and so on and so forth at the castle before them, because the castle does reach above where they are. But what you see as you're running along and looking down is that the sand in front of you starts to look a little different. It looks a little funny. So the sand was rolling. It has that kind of like tannish, reddish look to it as you're going along. But then it almost starts to look a little too tan, maybe even kind of whitish and whatnot. It really starts to like.
Do I
why
know
does
what
this
that
look
means?
off? You can roll me a survival or a nature check.
What is nature? Is that knowledge?
Knowledge, nature, yeah.
Can I
Only
roll it
might
as
know
well?
what they
I
or-
think I'll go.
You guys aren't looking down. You're looking up, and I'll get to you in a second.
Okay,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
sure.
Mortifer, you realize that's fucking silt in front of you. Like the last 50, 60 feet getting to the tower is comprised of silt. And you notice this as you're probably like a good about 300 feet away. You notice that.
Okay.
Right before where you notice that, so about a football field. Right before you notice that, it's Shashuk is kind of like looking about, but honestly, Shashuk's like this vile creature of like filth and darkness. So he's kind of son, like a fucking Nosferatu up there.
He is not that.
Violet.
Thanks.
Violet.
That's
I
my
think-
character for Fridays.
You're the
Well-
most Nosferatu out of the party, okay?
Yeah, but he still is okay with the sun. He's just not very good at looking for things with his bow. Also, Scott, what is silt?
Silt is an
It,
Anyone?
Oh.
Anyone get the
I know.
But in Athos,
Go
I
ahead,
don't know
Dave.
what it is in Athos. I know what it is in general. What is it? Is it something different in Athos?
Dave,
kinda.
Oh, silt.
please.
I thought silt was just kind of like when the water's dried up and what's left.
No,
behind.
not
That's what it means generally. What does it mean?
Silt is an
means it's running
extremely, and
water.
you may have seen this. I know I've seen this before when I've worked in restaurants. We had like the chemicals that we used to use for cleaning up fry litters and whatnot.
Yeah,
No, it's an
like river
extremely
sediment.
fine powder. It's a powder that's so extremely
It
fine
acts like
that
water.
it looked. It actually, if you had it like in a plastic baggie and you moved it around, it would look like water sloshing around
Which
in
is
there.
why I brought it up.
And in this
It's very
world, it
important to
acts
know
like
that.
water.
Which
So
is why in if you
I'm
see
sorry.
the map,
To me, it made. To me, I was like, oh, silt.
I just realized you might want to explain
Yeah,
it because if
thank
you see
you.
the map, instead of there being a big freaking ocean like most fantasy maps, there is a sea of silt.
Yeah. So it literally acts almost like a water or
And there are boats
worse than a quicksand. You know what I mean? Because
This
you immediately
skating-
sink in.
Would I sink in still with skating?
So that's a really good question that I imagine Mortifer is thinking to himself right now. Before we get to that, Dave, what you see, because unfortunately Jack doesn't really see much either.
Okay.
Actually, no, Jack, what you see is that obviously the building's coming up quickly. You can see that the it clearly has its damages to it, so on and so forth. You think you see something up by the roof. You're not really sure what it is. What you see, Einar, is there is a single figure standing on the roof, and he's standing there, and he's watching you guys come. And then he reaches behind him into a quiver, and he pulls out, it almost looks like a bit of energy, but that bit of energy solidifies into an arrow as he knocks it into his bow. And he's like calculating as you guys are coming, draws the arrow halfway, then does like a full draw and starts angling up like he's about to take the shot at you. You can see with your perception check as he's angling the arrow up, there's a growing amount of visible energy at the tip of the arrow as he's doing it. You can roll for me a spellcraft check.
Oh boy, I'm good at spellcraft. Boom.
It's a kinetic shot. It's a type of arrow that marksmen are able to use specifically for doing things like bursting open doors, damaging walls, things like that. It's specifically used for like blasting apart objects.
Oh no.
Well, good times. Here we go.
So anyways, that's what you see. And he's knocking his arrow, and clearly he's in the middle of casting.
Okay. What kind of actions can I take to react?
It's a good question. What kind of actions do you have on your body to react?
It's
It's one of those like he hasn't shot yet.
How
Well,
far is he?
You guys are about 250-ish, 280-ish feet away. It's not like you're counting with a measuring tape.
I would use my move action to lower our thing so we don't fall.
I'm
very
actually
far.
carrying you right now. I think I'm like holding.
Well,
you.
you're pushing us.
Yeah, you're pushing.
Yeah.
You're not actually supporting.
Still
all the way.
floating in air.
So more or less, what would happen is Mortifer. All of a sudden, like so, he's like and he starts like dropping the thing by 20 feet. More or less, the thing gets heavier in your arms, but it's only about 400 pounds and still easy for you to carry. So all of a sudden, the thing that gets heavy in your arms. You can choose to just and like pick it back up and keep running with it if you'd like.
So I'm gonna yell out. It's like someone's.
I imagine first you would feel his muscle take over because all of a sudden instead of the thing smoothly sailing, it's like and not going down.
Did you guys yell out?
In which
about
case
the
now you
archer?
can yell.
He has
Aware that there's an archer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mortifer
So now
can
you can yell.
throw you toward this man.
You don't know.
No,
Yeah,
so I'll say
Dave
it's like
first.
I'll be saying there's an archer aiming for us, and if I have a move action, I'll spend that to lower our door. And if I have a standard action, I'm going to cast skate on the other two people who didn't get it before.
You can do both of those things.
I would like to shoot at the man if possible.
One second. Once again, you hear that, Wade, and the kind of like the weight goes into your hands. I imagine just instinctively at first, like hold the weight, but you can make your decision from there, of course.
Okay. I'm gonna ask: is Mortifer safe to run on the silt?
You guys didn't know there was silt.
I look down, I see the silt.
Yeah, I just asked that like blatantly. I'm not smart
Dave,
to tell them.
you instantly know the answer to the question. What are the
And what?
confines of your spell?
All right, and what is the answer?
Does your spell allow you to walk on water?
Is it literally considered water?
It
In
acts
this
like
world, it acts like water.
Oh well, I guess no then. Oh, okay. So then I wouldn't cast. Well, I get. Let's see.
Well, you cast. I think you cast Skeet before he said that, anyways.
Yeah.
So just fine.
It's still good for the bonus speed.
Did I notice a way? Is the silt like just a full?
Moat.
Imagine Thank you, Ollie.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, it doesn't say anything about water. So I'm gonna say no.
He's like, well, you can't. No, there's no.
Like,
wants
my
to
character
fucking
probably
throw
does
you.
like fumble for a moment, and then I'm just like, shit, no. And then I immediately probably raise the door back up, and it's like run like you never run before. Mortimer.
Well, Mortimer, asked your question.
Oh, sorry.
I
what do
can
you
throw you toward this man.
got? Throw us towards the castle as hard as you can. And
Is
we're
he
gonna hold
toward
on
the
for dear
castle?
life.
Where's this guy?
He's on the roof.
All right.
Have I got a shot off yet?
So hold on. So they're having this conversation. It's relatively quick. I imagine during that time that you were doing that, because you saw nothing before.
No.
Now you're aware that there's a man on the castle. While they're doing that, you're fighting against the bright light that's working in this guy's favor. Now you're rolling me your perception check to try to like see him and try to line up a shot.
Dude. Go make a dang old check. I'm never gonna pass a check.
Woohoo!
But,
You're
like,
trying to find
you
him.
know
You're like-
what it's gonna happen. I'm not gonna see him.
So unfortunately, you can't see him. So this whole time that they're talking, because it wasn't an extended period of time, you're trying to track him out. You can't see him. I would allow for your next action because this would have been a shot, but not yet. Instead, another perception check from Wally. Because you're still trying to see this guy.
Like now?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is going to allow perception if you succeed at attack.
Oh, there
Okay,
he is.
so you actually do see a shape up ahead of you, but he is somewhat concealed because of the brightness around him. So it's going to be one of those situations where it's like he has a 20% mischance. So even if you hit his AC, it's 20% mischance.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah, that's D&D
Why
for
is
ya.
it just needlessly complicated?
Yeah. Well, it's not needlessly complicated. That's 20% is pretty solid.
Yeah, it's just an extra thing to never mind.
I know. It's awesome, right? No?
So I'm not
Everybody?
really listening when they're suggesting throwing or not, so I don't really have an opinion on it.
Okay, so Wade, do you want to take a few more steps and hurl them?
Yeah, is that a strength check or what would that be?
It would be a strength check. So I imagine it's one of those. You describe it as you'd like, but I imagine it's you describe how you want to throw them. If it's going to be like one of those, you describe.
I like stopped by the silt. I'm told like no,
So
you
again,
can't run on
the
it.
silt the castle was, my apologies to give you a description, was still like 250, 280 feet away. The silt is about 50, 60 feet deep. So you'd be moving up. Hold on. A double move is 90 feet. So that puts you just under 200. So you're not quite to the silt yet. So are you waiting to get to the silt before you shove?
What I was gonna do is like do a movement to get up to get like a running start and then just like throw them toward it.
Okay, so you want to like do it immediately, not get all the way to the edge of the silt.
Well, if I can use a movement to sprint toward the silt and then my action to throw.
Towards, but you're not going to get all the way there before I take action with my bow.
That's fine. I want to throw them before you take action to make them a harder target to hit.
So I imagine it's one of those things where you're probably trying to get there as much as possible, and Einar more or less sees the arrow get lost. It's like no,
Yeah.
and then you do what you got to do. So this is actually gonna be funny because if you're trying to go to the last possible minute, then I'm actually going to have you make me a dexterity save first, Mortifer. So first make me a dex save, then make me a strength check.
Do you
What's the
mean
save
a
for?
reflex save?
Thank you, Ollie. A reflex save. And the save is because you're reacting to the as quickly as possible with
You're
the arrow
basically
being
trying
shot.
to shoot first.
Hey!
Oh my
Wow.
god, what the? I do what? No, you were supposed to fail. Is it a
Crit.
20? Oh my god. Oh, my CPU, because it was just there. I don't have the dice on. I gotta turn this back on. Are you fucking kidding me? I wanted you to fail that, so even if you did do a good strength check, I got them. Are you fucking kidding me?
You know he wants to fail when he's like, yeah, but first you have to roll a blank.
Yeah. All right. Just roll your strength check for me, please. So fun thing.
Wow. Wow. Just
Fun
wow.
thing about this strength check.
Wow.
Anybody here ever play skee ball before?
No.
Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay.
I think this means I perfectly throw them exactly how I want to.
Hold on. So the way skee ball works is it's like a ball that you roll up a little sled and it goes into a hole that you're aiming for. You use too little strength, it just flops down in the you suck hole. If you use too much strength, it goes over and like smashes against the thing up above. I had like this little sweet spot area that you had to roll either under or above.
This is a nat 20.
But you rolled a natural fucking 20, so it's literally the exact perfect throw.
Yeah.
After you made your reflex save. So this is what happens. As you're like running along, he's like, now, you literally
I'm an Olympic athlete.
you take the thing and you have the momentum of your sliding. So you take the thing and you start like planting your foot to stop. Except you're not stopping, you're continuing to slide forward, and then you just turn and you throw the thing, as I kept saying beforehand, like a two-handed discus, right? So you take the thing, and you turn and you hurl it towards the wall as fast as you can without being too much power. And literally, it's that stopping kind of throw that makes the arrow just barely miss the wood. Like literally, you see with all the kinetic energy behind it, that arrow flying by just as it misses the wood. You see the thing hit the ground below, and right where it hits into the sand, there's a little explosion. It's like boom, as a ton of sand launches upwards. Some of it kind of getting in Mortifer's eyes and mouth and whatnot. Deal with that in a second. And leaving like a little crater in the ground. Nothing huge, but a little crater in the ground. And then the thing gets thrown with incredible speeds towards the wall, but not so much that you guys even have to make an acrobatics check. I'm actually
Yay!
The daddy
Double
20.
nat 20. The archer should fall off and just die on his own.
So it goes sailing towards the wall. Now it is still going fast. So the wall is coming at you fucking fast. What do you guys do? Because you have time to react before you hit that wall, because it is going to hit the wall. Not so much that it necessarily blows apart to 1,000 bits like I was hoping for. What do you guys do?
Where is it going to hit the wall? What floor?
Okay, so because 25 feet, so that's about 4 stories up, and it's how many stories did I say the thing was?
You haven't yet.
5? I think I did when you guys saw the map, which I think it's
Oh,
originally
like
5 stories.
on the map, yeah.
Yep. So
do I hit them? Does it hit the? I was throwing them toward the archer. Does it hit the archer with a perfect crit?
Well, okay. I would say no.
Yeah,
So you
double
would
nat
throw
20. Yeah, there's no way.
Well, no, because it's one of those things where you're just like hurling the discus, right? And we did a strength check, not an attack roll. So you throw the thing, and it does hit that top floor because of where it is going to hit the wall. It's one of those, with a bit of effort, you guys might actually be able to grab onto the roof and climb up.
That's what I want to do.
But first, you're careening towards the wall. Again, it's not insane speeds where the wood's just going to blast apart, but you are still going towards the wall very fast. What do you guys do?
I want to jump and get on the roof.
So, like, as it's going towards the wall, I kind of like prepare yourself, like
I'm
launching.
freaking Mission Impossible man who does his own stunts.
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna break my ankle though.
It's easy when you're 5'2", though. It's also easy when you have
how tall is
Scientology.
Shashik's not far off.
Oh,
It's 5'6".
I think he's really like 5'4" or something. He's a short guy. Does Shashik also wear heeled boots? No. So Shashik's planning for that, preparing for that. I'll get to that in a second. Jack and Einar.
If I have the time to cast a spell, I'm gonna just use Defy Gravity, but on myself.
So right before you get to where the wall is, you allow the momentum to continue sailing forward, and you just like rise up enough to not hit the wall to
Can't
land on
you
the
still
roof.
control
Literally,
the
what I have in my head is that like he's about to smash on the wall. He just kind of like steps up and he just like lands gracefully on the top of the roof. And he's just like puts a bro on the ground. He's like, whew.
Exactly that. Jack.
This is
Wait, can't Einar still technically control the height of this?
It's going really fast, and you had thrown it a little bit out of whack, out of like the orbit of the control that he had.
Yeah, the spell doesn't account for being rocketed.
This is where the
by
guy
a
was
half
shooting the
die.
bow, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
you're not
so-
going to land directly in front of him. It's not like
No,
Shashik's going to do like
That's-
a launching jump and like double dagger the guy.
I would have had
like
to roll a
Riddick
nat
style.
30.
I want to be Drex.
Panicked,
You're not doing the Drax Riddick thing.
panicked decision making. I quickly down.
He jumps into the ocean.
No, I quickly down an invisibility potion before landing, before crashing into the ground, so that I'm not there.
Okay.
When
So it's like,
shattered.
he gets ready to jump, and he looks over. Like I imagine Shashik like looks over at you, causes you a wink, and then focuses again. Einar just like focuses for a second, and then literally just takes a quick 2 steps up into the air. Right as Shashik launches up, and you're just like glow,
yeah.
and then the wood
disappear.
smashes into
Yeah.
the wall.
Ow.
Jack,
Ow.
you now have to, because you don't have to worry about the acrobatics check to be thrown.
Yeah.
You now have to roll me an acrobatics or athletics check right now.
Acrobatics, or there's no athletics, so just acrobatics.
Fuck, I keep forgetting that.
What is the equivalent of athletics? Would just be climb most of the time. Climb or swim, right?
Yeah, climb, swim, or jump.
So
yeah.
I'm assuming it's just an acrobatics check, is what you're looking for here.
It's kind
For
of
you.
amazing
Yeah.
that Pathfinder it lessened the skills, and then 5e even does it more so.
Kind of sensible.
Hey, there you go.
Ollie, you're making me a jump check, sir.
But I don't think they exist.
No, they don't.
I've been looking for you.
That's an
referenced
acrobatics
jump check
check,
and they don't
Scott.
exist. Yeah,
Jump is 3.5. Acrobatics, sir.
thank you.
Huh.
I never get good rolls when I need them.
You have such a high modifier too. It's
One of the cool things that I love about 3.5 Pathfinder, I'll get to in a second for what happens. And so this is what happened. You're throwing, stands there, and it's like, whew. And the other one drinks the potion, and all of a sudden, the wood careens into the wall. It's a hard smash. But honestly, Jack saw the smash coming, and it was one of those things where he wanted to not take the full force of the wood. Like he didn't want to be pinned between the wood and the wall itself. So it was one of those like, I can at least take the hit. So he jumps last second and just shoulder blasts takes the wall into his shoulder to take the momentum of the throw there, and he hits it. It's like ugh, and then falls back and just barely is able to stumble and keep on his feet on the wood below. The thing was rocking a whole ton after it hit the wall. The wood was rocking a whole ton, but he was able to hold his balance on it, and he's standing near the middle. It's still suspended by you, right, Dave? Or did it lose its suspension since you cast the spell again?
No, I mean it's a duration spell. It's not like
Okay, so I wasn't sure if it was one of those if you cast it again, but it's a leveled spell, so probably not. No. So it balances itself back out, and you're still standing on there, invisible. Ollie, you failed.
I just realized I had an entirely better play, and it's too late.
Ollie, you failed your check, but you failed it by less than 5. The DC was 15. So you jump up and you try to land up on the roof. Instead, you end up like taking the ledge of the roof into the gut, and you're like,
Oh, that's what I wanted anyway, to be honest. That's what I wanted.
And so you're like scrambling to like. I imagine Shashak has like nails. So like scrambling.
I was saying earlier with the door, like I was scrapping into the wood. Yeah, so absolutely.
You use like your nails, like scratch away and like dig in. And you like just barely hold on to the roof. You're like winded, so you're like gasping for breath as you're holding on to the roof.
Like, looking up at him standing right there casually.
Okay, we're going to reload initiative, and you guys are welcome to get started.
Do I roll initiative even though I can't really get there?
Yes, because it might be a factor.
Okay.
You might get shot at. Wow, there we go. That's nice.
Ah, I rolled a natty 1.
I did too.
Did we take that rule into account?
You
in this
didn't,
campaign?
because
We
it didn't make sense for Pathfinder.
Yep,
I
agree
rolled
with
back
you.
to back nat 20s followed by a nat 1.
ain't that just the way?
I
Okay.
got a kick in the head.
Of all things, though, honestly, an initiative roll is probably not the worst thing in the world for me to roll a nat 1 on.
You can survive long enough to be fine. I, on the other hand,
All right,
Not 3,
Shashak.
chat, not 3. 2 is the magic number.
Winded for the moment, but don't worry, no levels of fatigue or anything. Winded for the moment. You're about 25 feet to the side of where this guy is, between like to the side and him being a couple steps back or whatever, about 25 feet from the guy as he was, because it wasn't a perfect throw at where he is. Oh wait, no, actually he did aim towards the guy. My apologies. He's about 10 feet from where you are, like clung to the edge, a little to the side, a little back. Make me a climb check to scramble up.
I wish.
Remember,
I could do like
if you fail by 5 or more, that's where bad things happen.
Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. That's not going to happen. Still
good.
scrabbling.
Nope. You're actually good. I said it at DC 10. So it's like you kick and you climb, you pull yourself up, and you get yourself onto the ledge and push yourself up to the feet. Luckily, he's got a bow, so he doesn't provoke attack of opportunity. So you're able to get yourself onto your feet, push yourself up, and you have just enough to move up to him if you want to.
I still had my bow out, so there's no much point. I guess I drop the bow and I take out my. Actually realized that I should be fighting with a sword, not my daggers. So
dropping the bow is a free action, and
Yep.
drawing one weapon is part of a move action, so you're good.
Okay, I will attack with the sword.
So imagine it's one of those, as you scramble up, you draw the sword as you stand up, and then you. The
I
bow
did-
probably wasn't dropped intentionally; it was probably like thrown from.
Yeah.
Oy. So you go you get yourself up, and this guy's actually seriously caught off guard by the fact that you survived that, didn't fall, got up, and came at him. So as you come at him to attack with your sword, you rush over and you attack, and he sees you coming, and just barely is able to get the bow up in time to stop the attack. Because literally, you just bring the attack down at him, and he stops the bow. Like literally, the blade is right here over his face, like inches from his face, as he stops it with the haft of the bow.
Shashik just roars at him. Like still winded. It's not pleasant.
That's intimidating.
Yeah.
That's one of your things.
Yeah.
Okay, Einar. You are, because of like how you had gracefully stepped up, you're about 15, 20 feet from where the guy is, about 10, 15 feet from where Ollie is.
All right.
And comfortably sitting there.
This guy, what's he wearing?
So his got pretty basic robes on. You imagine they're reinforced in areas for protection, but they're not anything incredible or amazing. He does not look like he is a like he's a Templar, has none of that Templar garb or anything like that. But then again, he also doesn't have the signs of somebody that works for the family house. He doesn't have signs for anything that really jumps out for you, and he's a human.
Okay. Can I guess can I do a persuasion check, like a standard action persuasion check to try to chill him out?
Talk to me and roll.
Okay. So basically, I'm going to call out and just say, despite our unorthodox entrance, we're here on behalf of Leviath, in hopes of having peace talks with the residents of this castle to stop the civil war that is gripping this city. And persuasion.
It's either bluff or it's going to be diplomacy. I don't see a persuasion.
Well, that's not. I mean, but that's.
Yeah, it's persuasion in UD&D. It's diplomacy in this one.
Well, I mean,
You're telling the truth.
well, but that's not our ultimate goal, though. I
You're
mean,
still
like,
telling the truth.
It doesn't matter whether or not you're bluffing. That is, you are trying to persuade him into not fighting. Unfortunately, the delivery does have a couple of like breaks and whatnot. And honestly, it's one of those like it's not that you're entirely lying, but honestly, you just like are annoyed at the moment. Anyway, like, are you fucking kidding me? And so it's you don't have a strong delivery, and so he literally just ignores your words.
Did you say this guy looks like? What does he look like again?
Human, relatively simple garb, probably reinforced in some points.
No showing colors though.
Nothing that stands out. Nothing stands out to the two people standing there at the moment.
all right. And since
But
that was
you can't see him yet.
my action was
okay.
persuade. I'm going to use my move action to literally like break line of sight between me and him since I can fly right now. I'm going to move over the edge and literally just float down.
Float down to where?
Just float down on like maybe halfway down the wall, maybe like 10 feet down the wall.
Okay, so just like drop 10 feet down the wall. Cool.
Yeah, and hover there.
Okay.
And
Because remember, you're about 40 feet up in the air. No, sorry, you're about 50 feet up in the air. So drop 10 feet down. So anyways, you, Jack, you're on the wood. You're invisible. There's the roof ledge right above your head.
I guess I try and get up it.
200 feet away. I'm just waving.
You just raw climb check.
Acrobatics. There's not much I can do.
It's
There is a climb.
Isn't there?
Oh
climb.
yeah,
Okay,
there's a climb. Oh yeah. Oh, that's worse.
That's why I asked you raw. I don't know if you had like a.
What are my other options? from
I
here?
do, but I forgot until now. I have a grappling hook and rope, and it's all like set to be
What are my
exactly. Yeah.
other options other than getting up there? Sit here and wait?
You you can perception to take in your surroundings.
Yeah, let me take in my surroundings. Jack is a man who makes decisions based on information. 22.
So, standing there, everything's settled. You hear Einar trying to speak sense into somebody. So immediately you're like, okay, maybe we don't have to fight this guy. Einer's trying to talk to him. Ugh, probably wouldn't have phrased it like that. And you look over the edge just to like take in the building around you. The building does have windows in it. As a matter of fact, looking about, you think climbing up is going to be a bit of a pain in the ass. If you angle a halfway decent jump, you're pretty sure you can jump clear into a window only about 4 feet beneath and a couple feet over from where you are right now. If maybe it'll be a bit of a hard jump, it's just one of those things where you're thinking to yourself, climbing up, if I fail, I fall on this piece of wood. Jumping into that, if I do it really poorly, there's far more devastating consequences.
Yeah, true.
So it's one of those, if you fail by 5 or more is where you have to really worry.
It's an acrobatics check for the jumping?
Correct. The jumping down is acrobatics, exactly.
And if I fail that from 5 or more, I die. Well, I fall
Correct.
into hell.
I mean, I will tell you, if you spend like the rest of this turn to like plan that jump, it'll be easier next turn.
I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll do
More or
that.
less, I'll reduce the DC by a couple.
Yeah, I'll do that. Because if I can just get inside, I have like a heaping supply of invisibility potions if needed. So
Awesome. So you like look around, you see like the nearest window is like right there. You're like, fuck. And you kind of like go over, you're like looking, lining up your angle, take a couple steps back. You're like, I really don't want to do this. And after that's going to be the archer's turn. Awesome. So the archer is standing before you. He has his bow in his hand. Once again, he just caught that attack from you, Ollie. And so he just caught the thing. And now what he's doing is, because like it kind of knocked into his bow a little bit, he's going to like kick out with his leg. So he like plants with his left leg, kicks forward with his right, connecting with your stomach enough to send you back a few steps. So even though he's clearly within range of your sword, he quickly knocks an arrow and draws it back. You take a swing at it, but he easily like rolls underneath your swing, and while point blank still takes a shot at you with the bow. It's one of those things though that right as he's taking a shot with the bow, you can see a certain amount of energy building up at the tip of the arrow.
My AC is 15.
Thank you. Oh, what am I doing? Wait, what's going on here? There you go. Roll well. So I got a total of a 12. So like I said, he like rolls underneath your like attack of opportunity that you would have taken, takes the shot with the arrow, but unfortunately he was so close that it left a big margin of error for you, and so you're able to like move to the side, and the arrow goes sailing past you. But it's one of those things. There's enough energy behind that shot of the arrow that as it travels through the air, it's not like it eventually hits the ground. As it's traveling through the air, it eventually starts to vibrate and explodes in the middle of the air. You know what I mean? Somewhere over where Mortimer's head is. That's his first attack. His second attack, because rapid shot's a thing.
I don't know. Okay.
And so with his second attack, he takes the arrow. This one's actually a normal arrow, and so he knocks it. So it's one of those. As you step to the side, he continues to move like sideways around you. So now you guys are both like perpendicular to the parallel to the ledge, not too far from where you are. He takes the shot. This one actually hits you.
Okey-dokey. I still have damage reduction up because it has not been long enough.
Oh, that's true. How long does that last again?
It would have lasted 4 minutes, and it's only been a minute and a half. More or less.
So -2. Oh, shit. I rolled really well. -2 points of damage. You take 10. So he, like I said, he continues to move around, lines up that shot, and he straight up hits you, and it goes into your side. Misses your organs, but it's literally a through and through. The arrowhead's already sticking out your backside. It's in the fat part of your left side. Still
okay.
That's his turn. Still in melee with you. Mortifer.
So, do I know a good way to try to traverse this silt ocean? Or is there another way I can
This
get...
is the swim check you were making fun of, Wade. You were like,
You could
"Wait,
also
there's
just
a-
grow
I'll never
super
need swim
huge
check."
and walk
I
it.
don't know if you guys want me to swim check. I may drown.
You still
Does
skate
that-
on. It improves your jump. You could running jump across the silt to the castle.
You can actually try to do that. And because you're large sized, your jump checks are actually bigger distances than they would be if you were medium sized.
And
So
skate,
you're huge
And
size.
skate makes you jump even further
Is
than
jump acrobatics?
Yes. Isn't that what you're saying? Yes.
Yeah, I think it's acrobatics.
But it would be pretty easy because of your size.
Well, it'd be easier, right? So more or less,
Gonna
you can
have
keep
to be.
running. You can keep running towards it. So Wade, you actually get to think about it because you have to spend this entire turn running towards it. Now that you don't have them to worry about, you can actually do a quadruple move. So you can actually move up all the way to the ledge. A run check ollie is a quadruple move.
Oh, I always forget that.
Yeah, but he was just pushing something before, so he couldn't do that. So you can actually get up to. So your next turn, you're going to make your decision of what you want to do, Wade. So keep that in mind.
All right.
Back to the top. It's
I'm going to
Shashak.
run and prepare a jump to make it easier.
Okay, Mr. Scott.
You decide what you want to do.
I
Maybe
don't
chat will give you an idea.
I don't remember the this doesn't make sense. I need to check something on the spell. I don't remember the rule on touch attacks, whether I could touch attack and then do a side attack with my other weapon. I don't remember if I could do that.
Yeah, touch checks one of your two attacks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I didn't remember that. I just need to check something because one of my things is definitely written wrong. Yep, that is a swift action.
What does the sliding thingy give you as a bonus to your jump?
I mean, it just increases his speed. I mean, there's no I mean,
I thought it said on it that it increases his distance he can jump or something.
All right, you guys read that. Ollie, you go.
Okay, so I'm going to do lingering touch. I'm going to stare at this guy and be like, "Oh, I was gonna kill you, but now I'm gonna make you kill yourself." And I am going to try and devastating touch him, and I'm going to use my new terror, which is terrified escape, but I miss. But can I then do another
Actually,
touch attack?
Do you miss?
Oh, I mean, it is against his touch armor.
Oh, he has a really good dexterity.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah.
But I don't remember if I can do 2 touch attacks.
No.
Then I will just dagger him.
Yeah.
That would have been real cool if it worked.
I love the whole speech to start up and then.
Well, you got to remember, even when Shashak misses, he's doing like 5 attacks and jabbing at the dude and stuff like that.
So it's one of those things where, like I said, he did the whole swing under your first attack, lined up, did the second shot attack to your side. So you look at it, you look up, you say your words, and you like reach out to claw the guy. But it's one of those things that as you go to claw the guy, he stumbles backwards. It's not even like a graceful out of the way. He just barely gets out of the way of your fingers, missing by inches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From like clawing at his chest. And then as he stumbles back a bit, he re-gets his footing again on the roof that's up there, and then you take a swing with the dagger, but this one he's able to kind of like, redirect your arm with it, like holding onto his long bow. Use that to like redirect your arm out of the way so it doesn't hit him.
He's still totally basically roaring every attack with his horrible, raspy, I'm injured voice.
Einar, your turn.
All right, I float 10 feet up so I can hit him, and inflict pain. DC 18 will save.
Okay. That is not a good save. Well, no saves are good saves. I rolled off of a 19 onto a 9. So I miss.
-4 on attack rolls, skill checks,
Ah.
and ability checks.
Fuck. Okay.
And I go back down 10.
So you're 20 feet down?
No. I went up 10, cast, went back down 10.
Oh, gotcha. So you're kind of like hanging it out of like the brightness of the light because, like I said, the sun was in his favor before. Cool. All right, that's going to be Einar's turn. Now it's Jack's turn. Jack, you spent your turn kind of preparing for it. Now the DC is a bit lower for you. You're able to make your roll.
Come on, baby. Wow, natty 1, of course. Of course. A natty 1, what do you want me to do? I can't that's just beyond control.
So you go running out the window.
Character.
You plan and you like take a couple steps forward and you jump and you just like no, poof, and literally it's one of those like you try to catch it, but you literally catch your face right at like the corner of the thing, and it like hits you square in the head and like gives you completely dazes you, so you have no semblance of regaining yourself as you fall, and you just
and I'm invisible, so nobody can see me sink.
We might see the cloud, but have to land.
So that is a is it 4d6 for a fall?
Ooh, I have no idea.
No, you're 50
How
feet.
tall is the tower?
It's 5d6. Mike, you're welcome to roll that, sir. I'll let you roll that. Open roll 5d6.
Well, I could be dead at this. Like legitimately, this could kill me. Yikes!
How much health do you have?
It's in water though, right?
Hold on, Mike. How much do you?
I have 29, so I don't go unconscious. But
okay, so if you remember the description, right along the buildings has to be hard, solid ground.
No, I'm gonna hit the ground.
So he hits the ground.
That's good though. I don't sink into the water.
But
I'm
he doesn't
alive.
sink into. It's one of those things where like you're like, ugh, you're lying on the ground. Your fucking back is exploding with pain. Your
Honestly,
head hurts.
okay,
Your face
hold on,
is
though.
busted.
Listen,
like black eyes, broken nose.
So yeah, but I got potions. Silver lining. I'm now closer to where we need to be to steal what we need. It's in the basement, and I know where it is. All right, you guys, good luck. Jack is improvising from here on out. I'm going in.
Pretty sure we need to be on the second floor, actually.
Sure, but I dropped 5, so I'm still technically closer.
Yeah, that's stairs, you know.
I'm still closer.
I mean, that's how I would go down personally.
All right, the guy's gonna make his attack rolls against you. Let's see how they go.
-4.
Oh fuck!
Thank you, party wizard.
God, of course
What
I never
we-
did.
Ah!
I rolled 3.
So he lines up his shot. He energizes it with a significant amount of kinetic energy, and he pulls the shot back. However, it was one of those things where, because like he keeps screwing against you, it's literally as he pulls that thing back, he has to concentrate like with immense precision to put the energy into the shots that he does. And literally, as he's pulling the shot, you're like daring him to fucking shoot you again. You're like, Durr! He's like, and it literally kind of like throws him up just enough that when he pulls it back, instead of pulling his arm back and putting the kinetic energy forward, he pulls the kinetic energy back as well and ends up exploding the string in his hand. And the bow is like, boom, and snaps all over the place. He just barely holds on to it as it goes. And he's like, oh shit, like as the thing fucking snaps in his hand. And he's going to take several steps back, which provokes attack of opportunity.
And also remember, he is suffering racking pain.
Good.
Causing horrible agony.
but only a -4 version of horrible agony.
it's
I could do that.
It's not incapacitating horrible agony. It's frustratingly lack of a focus horrible agony.
Why do you have a -1 on there?
Because I usually am two-handing it,
Oh, okay.
but in this case I'm not.
So it's a 17.
Just something Scott has to remember when I am. And
17. So you hit. You do 3 points of damage. There's a little bit of a scratch against the guy. Nothing that's particularly heavy. But then when he gets back to the other side, he actually he's a marksman. He spends a swift action. He quickly, as soon as he gets back to the other side, as he's running back, he's throwing the strings off the bow and grabbing another string from his side. He puts the bow on the ground, and with more, like, it's one of those things, you shouldn't treat a bow that way, but he's literally puts a string on half of the bow as he's backing up, throws his foot into it, bends the thing more than you think it should be able to, pops it on, and then boom, it's taut again, and he's ready back there. More or less, he used the rest of his turn to back up enough to restring the bow. After that's going to be Mortifer's turn.
How far of a jump is this?
Technically, it's 60 feet, but the further you go, the better you are because it's less to deal with on the other side. So the way the jumping works typically is that if you make a long jump, it's a running jump. For a running jump, the result of your acrobatics checks indicates the distance traveled in the jump. If the check fails, the distance is actually like how you land that same distance, but you fall prone. Half the result for a standing jump, meaning you didn't run first. You know what I mean? So again, that's your result is how far you jump. However, what did the sliding do? What did it specifically say on slide or sled or?
it said it increased your maximum jump length as all speed increases do.
Okay, so
It
when your
refers to another
speed,
rule.
when your all creatures' base land speed is 30 feet, you get a +4 racial bonus or whatever for acrobatics checks made for every 10 feet above that 30. So because you're 45, that's 10 above 30. You get a +4 to this jump check is more or less what it's saying. Okay.
Great. So I have a +0 to this jump check.
But then because of the fact that you're huge sized, I'm actually saying, because you're running this whole while, you have the skate on you, you're huge sized. I'm actually saying I'm going to accept double the result of whatever you roll. Now, if you roll a natty one, it's going to tickle me.
All right.
If that's what you want to do.
Natty ones, they happen.
Don't worry, Jack. Mortifer's coming. If I fail this, do I drown in this silt or can you swim in it?
You can probably swim or try to swim.
We'll
Don't worry.
find out.
Here's the thing. Also, Jack failed, but nobody saw him fail.
We saw. I
was
imagine we saw
invisible.
a big poof.
Oh, that's true. You were invisible.
I landed
No,
on hard
you
ground.
heard a big oof.
I might have said some words, but I'll be downing potions to get rid of my marks.
So I
hope
really
you have
need
a rope.
I need like a picture of Mortifer running, pushing the thing with the people, and Jack missing, and like, like,
I tried.
Mortifer did all he could with the wood bit.
It's true.
Now he's got to make a big jump.
Just don't land on top of me.
Sprinting full speed at this.
RN Jesus, hear our prayers.
Mortifer's on his way. With a 10.
You double it, right? 10.
I'm just imagining it all in slow-mo. You can see like the sweat.
Oh wait.
The
No,
drool.
that's higher than that because you said I eliminate the penalty for the -4.
So it's
Ah.
9.
9
So that'd be
times
a
2.
9 times 2. So that'd be an 18.
Yeah. All right.
There we go.
So it's one of those things where Mortifer realizes as he's running, he's looking for the edge of the silt, but he doesn't see it. It's one of those, like, he realizes mid-step that his next step is going to be in the silt. He realizes it too late that he's like, oh shit, I should have jumped a whole step backwards. So instead what he does is literally mid-step, he realizes he's there. And so he does like a quick little, while still having all the weight on his back leg, a quick little hop forward to try to get as far as he can. And it's one of those, like, his distance isn't the fact that he was airborne for so long in distance. It's that his body is so huge that as he flops forward, he's just kind of able to pull himself up 18 feet from where he was, as opposed to where he's going or whatever.
And how
So
far
anyways,
was I?
it's 18-foot gap is how far you jump in. So
And
now
how far
it's
was it total?
50 or 60.
Oh.
So now it's going to be swim checks, and swim checks aren't easy in silt. They're more difficult in silt than they are in water.
It's a good thing I've got nothing in swim.
It's
But
going to
he
be a
has
strength.
skate on, so the water's beating off of him.
It's a strength-based skill. This is 0-level power called floats. Do you not have that?
I do have float.
You do?
I do.
No, then you're good. You can float.
I was gonna
You literally
cast
have
it, but when I was reading float. The description just said it made me swim faster. It didn't say anything about being able to swim better.
You don't drown.
Yeah, that lets you
Hell
swim.
yeah! Then I totally would have cast.
You're like
that.
a fat guy in a pool. You know what I
It
mean?
does
Just
not-
like, this is comfy.
It doesn't describe it like that. Otherwise, I would have totally cast that. So
It's Pathfinder. It describes everything like ass.
yeah, all it says is I increased my.
I
swim speed
disagree.
by
I think
5.
everything's very well over.
It is well described in its own
Oh,
horrible
well,
way.
then, fuck yeah, I cast float on myself because I would do that. But the way it described float was stupid. It was like you could swim 5 feet faster.
You
No,
are
see, that's what it means in D&D. If you can swim a speed,
the
that
very
means
first
you can
sentence. You
swim.
mentally support yourself in water.
So what
Yeah,
happens
but
right
that's-
now is that
You can
Mortifer
swim at a
right
speed
now
of
has
5
a...
feet using the power alone, or if you already have a swim speed.
Yeah, but mentally support yourself in water doesn't mean to me
Yeah.
when I'm reading it like
what it
oh,
means
I-
in
you know,
D&D
you
is
get
like
a-
if you have a
Scott,
0, you just can't
Scott,
swim.
he has a
Oh,
swim
But
speed
you
of
will
5
have
feet.
5.
What's the casting time?
It is a standard action.
What's the components?
It is
Oh, it's all mental. So he's fine.
display, auditory, range,
Oh,
personal.
he'll just have to make a concentration check to pull it off, and it's only a DC 10 for doing it while in the water. So he should be good. Okay, cool. So so you go splashing into the water. That's your turn. You run. You jump. So next turn you'll have to make a concentration check to successfully float.
Okay, where is that? Where do I-
You'll do it on your next turn, so you're good for now. Oh god,
Okay.
sha.
It's a very easy name to pronounce.
How
You're going
deep
out
is
of your
this?
way to make it sound hard.
I'm assuming I'm not touching the bottom, right?
No.
Worth a shot.
I am
Every guy asks though.
to do
Most guys aren't 25 feet tall.
Also true.
move again. Did your horrible pain lower his AC?
Attack rolls, saves, checks.
Well, that's actually pretty good. I'm going to do the same combo again of Lingering Touch, and then...
Is it saves or just checks?
I think-
Yeah,
I think
it's
saves.
it's ability checks and attack rolls. Okay, never mind, not saves. He's a dexterous character. 10 plus is, he's an archer. Like,
It's just annoying.
sorry, because it's
There
actually
you
a
go.
really easy AC most of the time, but you're rolling like Rick used to until he started ruining all my games.
Just that this character will never have good attack rolls.
I'm sorry, Ollie.
No, it's fine. It's just, I'll never have fun.
Yeah, I know. It's so disappointing when that happens. That's why you always use magic missile with what's his name?
Yeah, I definitely... No, because in 5e, you can always do things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a very sad man.
So you come rushing at the guy again. You reach at him with your left hand and try to grab him. It doesn't
Excuse
work.
me, I attack with my right as my main hand? How dare you?
And then follow up with your dagger in your right hand. Which happens with
Like,
your
I
left
have my
hand.
sword in my
So
right
that's
hand
the-
and my
yeah.
dagger in my right hand.
You just dual
Strap them
wielding.
together.
You move
So
it
anyways,
like Bowie does in the Balls in Labyrinth. You can just
Yeah.
So anyways, you do 3 points of damage again to the guy. So
It's going to be death by 1,000 cuts.
all right, Einar, your turn.
Okay. So I see. I see Mortifer like plunge into the silt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's a big guy and swims a strength-based skill, so I imagine you're not too worried about him yet.
if you don't
All
see
right.
him
Let's see if
resurface
he's
for, like, a
struggling
round.
first.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. So I'm gonna help. I'm gonna help Shashuk. I'm gonna pop back up and I'm going to telepathic lash DC 16. Will save.
By the way, I do know, as I'm not in chat, in case anybody has been calling out in chat, the fact that you've been moving up and moving down. Technically, you're not supposed to do that in Pathfinder. I just haven't cared. You remember-
Because it's the move.
yeah, because
cast
move it's
move
move
thing.
then standard, not break up your move.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually completely forgot about that.
Well, because
Actually,
there's feet specifically that allow you to do that, but I get what you're trying to do. It's fine. I imagine not even a full 10 feet down. You're just kind of like right at the edge. And like,
Yeah. Peek. Pew.
Yeah, like move action up, free 5 foot. No, maybe. So, anyways, you do your whatever you're doing.
Yeah. So DC will save 16.
It's
Oh.
a 12,000 pound.
What ability?
Will save.
What ability?
Something lash.
Oh yeah, telepathic lash.
Oh, gotcha. Because I didn't see a pop up in chat. That's what I was asking.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Sorry, I haven't cast it yet.
I fail miserably.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he's dazed.
Oh shit, Ollie, dazed. So you know.
Oh, I looked up Dazed recently. They can't attack, but they can still do other things.
It doesn't affect his defenses in any way.
He has no actions, but that is normal AC, so he loses his turn effectively. Jack, your turn.
Getting up, feeling a little worse for wear, but still alive.
So as you're like lying there, or whatever. My apologies. I actually meant to say this. I just forgot because rounds are so long.
Sure.
As you're like lying there, you kind of like feel the silt in your hands. You like feel water in your hands, and you like look over and you see like your arm is like in the silt, and you realize if you were like another foot to the side, you probably would have rolled in to the because it's not like it's a shoreline. It's like a drop into the silt. You're like, oh shit, and you like pull your hand back up as it's like rolling down your arm and kind of
Thank
sprinkling
God,
onto you.
I would be dead. My character would be dead. If he fell into the silt, that's it. Invisible? No way.
So you roll. You're able to like
yeah,
just
I
kind of
kind of
get
roll
yourself
off,
there.
like away and kind of like dust myself off and bleeding and black eyes and miserable. But my immediate action is to look for an entrance into the castle from here.
So you start
Remember,
kind of like walking along the ledge, looking for an entrance to the
you are
castle.
buffed with skate. Everyone is.
Right, I skate my way, looking for an entrance.
Probably takes you a moment to realize what's happening. Like, oh hey. Now I do imagine Jack does fucking roller derby style skate. Okay.
If I wasn't like swollen, bloody, and almost dead, probably, but
Oh, you're dejected teenager
It's like
style
a,
skate.
I was going
Right,
to say,
exactly.
like a teenager on a skateboard just does the
wiping,
pushing, slowly
blood
move.
from my nose constantly. But yeah, I'm looking for a way in.
Okay, so you're starting to make your way around, looking for a way in. Awesome. We're gonna have you make a perception check in a moment. After Jack is what's his name? the archer,
Can I-
who literally is standing there right in front of you all. He's like, oh. Well, and he's like kind of like batting away at you, like trying to keep you away, batting away with his pretty strong bow.
Scott, would I have
But,
had
like,
time
clearly he's like thrown off and he's like stumbling to the side a little bit.
Would I have had time to take down an extract, by the way? No?
I mean,
okay, that's
you
fine.
pushed yourself up and started looking, right?
Yeah.
Or would you have pushed yourself up and stopped and drank an extract that you prepared prior?
I would have drank my cure light wounds first.
So you
I
didn't
think.
start searching yet?
Yeah, I would have waited till next.
So I'll
turn.
wait till your next turn before I have to make the perception.
Alright.
Okay.
Cure light wounds is what? 1d something?
2d4 plus
1d8.
2.
1d8
Oh, 1d.
plus 1 per
cure light
caster
wounds.
level. Yeah. Roll
Yeah.
1d8.
Sorry.
God.
Hey!
Plus what? Plus 4 for 4? Because I'm level 4?
Correct.
So that's
So
12,
12.
13, 14, 15. Cool. I am currently at... Okay, I'm feeling much better now. All right, go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're not. So that's his whole turn is dazed and just kind of like swinging at nothing. Mortifer.
All right. I guess I'm going to try to. So what is it? I concentrate to cast float. That's my action.
Your action will be to cast float, but you have to make a concentration check to successfully do it. It's honestly only a DC 10, which is not hard.
What is it? Where do I roll concentration at?
I don't know on these character sheets. Somebody else tell him.
Sorry, where
Concentration.
it's on the spells, so it's right above your spell slots. So go to the spells tab. You're gonna see concentration right above where all your DCs and stuff are under spell casting.
Aha. Okay. So am I ready?
Go right ahead. No problem. You successfully cast float. So as you're like sinking down, like starting to you just like using your big arms and kicking your feet to try to swim back up through fucking sand, more or less. You just like, oh, wait a second, like, and you just like rise up. Now it's not like you stand on top of the water. You're not Jesus. You just kind of like float up, and so if you can easily keep your head and shoulders above water. You can start like wading your way through the water, no problem. Again, your swim speed's 5, so your minimum you're going to move is 10 feet. But you're actually, yeah, you have a move action. You just move 5 feet.
Yeah. So basically he can make swim actions to go more, but he will move a minimum of 5 feet.
Correct. So you're gonna do exactly that. Make the swim check.
Okay, I'm still skating too. Does that speed me up in here?
Not really, because Dave, is that only land speed or is that?
No,
all
it's
speed?
just speed.
Oh yes.
As long as he's not doing he's not
So
doing
your
an
swim
incline.
speed's 20.
So as long as he's not doing an incline, he.
So don't even roll. You just swim speed 20. You move 20 more feet over. You went from 18 feet to 38 feet across. So
All right.
don't even roll. All right. After that is gonna be Shashuk.
I am going to do the same thing again, but this time I'm not going to use terrors because we have to go inside to speak
Everyone's
the
fighting
castle
to the death.
afterwards.
Mike felt like his near death, and I'm just like having a nice swim in the silt.
It's not a nice swim, for the
You
record.
hit.
Yep, that's it. I'm not using a terror, and I
Okay.
will use my daggerino.
You hit again.
So what
Yeah,
is your
I'm
what does your devastating touch do besides damage?
Nothing because I haven't got an extra terror on. It just does like.
It's just a
untouched
touch attack,
damage
Dave.
against touch.
Okay.
Yeah, the
But
fact
then
that
I
it's
can
touch
apply
attacks.
terrors to it, but I only have 7 terror usages, and I've already used 3. And we're gonna go into a dungeon, so I'm not gonna keep.
So he does 7 more points of damage. He's taking 13 total right now. So this guy's starting to look really, really hurt, but not so much so that he's dropped. And he's starting to get his senses back around him. Einar, it's your turn.
Let's see if he keeps his senses. DC 16.
Fucker.
Keep him
Beat a DC 14.
Not enough.
Okay. Jack, your turn.
I look around for an entrance.
You start walking around. Make me a perception check.
Oh boy.
After this battle, maybe
15.
find us a camp instead.
So you start walking around, and of course you're in like the nice shaded part of the building because again the sun was in the favor of the other guy before. So as you're walking around, you see what's his name float up, and you're like, no, he's fine. He's easily coming back over here. And you start walking, and all of a sudden you see that something else seems to notice that Mortifer is swimming his way towards the ledge as well. Back where you had fallen before, because you're like we're walking away from it. You're like looking around, look back over your shoulder. And all of a sudden, you see something comes through the wall. It's hard to see at first.
Oh God, is it?
But then you realize there's something that just came through the wall just for a moment, maybe was focusing on Mortifer. It's kind of hard to tell because it's difficult to focus on this thing, and then moved back into the wall itself.
Great. Does that mean there's an illusion, or does that mean they can pass through walls?
That's a good question. Oh no, you rolled a 20 before. If it's a shadow, it can move through walls.
Oh, shadow. Oh, right. I actually completely forgot about them for a second.
Good
Great.
job. The other guy continues to flail around and do nothing.
Did I find
Mortifer.
Did I find no entrance?
Mortifer, no, not yet.
Okay.
Mortifer, you move 20 feet. You get to the ledge and easily stand up upon the ledge.
Oh, that's much nicer than I was before. Got all the sweat off with the sand that's now stuck to me.
That's not wrong. It's like shake for a second and like brush it off.
24-foot Sandman.
Yep. And you still have your action.
Oh, well, I'm 24 feet tall. Can I reach this archer from
No, that's over 50 feet.
50 feet? Well, I guess I'll look around and try to see like if there's a way I can either get up or get inside this place.
It's not an easy climb because like you don't have to only stick 2 or 3 fingers into a window at once, and you definitely can't get a full foot in there. I imagine you wear sandals, right? So you have to like stick like your big toe into like a window or whatever. But you might be able to climb up the side of this building to get to the roof.
I don't wear sandals. I have boots of stomping. Thank you.
Then your boots definitely would not be able to get inside there. It'd be like using your fingers like hold on.
I don't know that I want to try climbing anyway.
Hmm?
Unless I could cast Catfall on myself first, then like whatever happens.
That's a reaction thing, so you do it as you fall if it's an issue.
All right. Well, there's no reason not to try then if I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Would perception be an action if I was looking around?
It would be, yeah. If you're like really trying to take in more than just
All
like.
right. Well,
I
Jack's
see the
invisible, so I've
building.
got no idea he's down here. So as far as I'm aware, everyone's up top. So I'm going to try climbing up to get to them, I guess.
Yeah, you can see me. I'm floating off the side.
All right. Don't worry, friends. Mortifer's coming. Mortifer's casting Catfall very quickly.
No, you just.
You
just
fail
started.
so miserably that it's literally you just can't get your fingers in the hole. You know what I mean? Like you're trying to brace your feet, you're trying to like get a good handhold. You actually grab like 3 fingers into one of the window frames. You start pulling, and you actually start to like feel the wall around where you're pulling crack just because your sheer weight is too much. Like, oh, I want to do that one, and you're like reaching around trying to grab things. Your fail isn't to the point where like you're gonna fall and hurt yourself. Your fail is to the point where it's so obvious that there's a large creature doing this. You probably made everybody inside the building aware that King Kong is climbing the Eiffel Tower or whatever he climbs.
That's fair.
So,
Fairly sure he doesn't climb the Eiffel Tower.
King Kong in France, whatever. So Shashashashuk, finish this off for us.
I'm gonna miss.
Roll 20.
Oh,
There you go.
Hit.
Is he still a boot?
He's still up. Yep. So yep. Oh, I said 20 land first. So
Yeah, because for some reason the sheet rolls 2 dice. So there's
You
a
know
20 there.
you know why? It's the confirm roll.
Yeah, but why is it doing a confirm roll if I didn't crit?
Because the way that I can actually tell you the way that this is all set up, it doesn't have an if and then because it would
Should
cause
just
the
be
APIs
separate
of
buttons.
it to be a little bit too complicated. So, it's just
This is the stuff you get angry about on the Stars About number sheets, and you're not angry about it here, and I am upset about it.
I'm
This is
only not
favoritism
angry.
because you like Pathfinder. That's all it is.
No. It's because I get to watch you suffer. Can I get a little bit more salt, please? My food's not.
It's not salt, it's grump. There's a difference.
What do you think's happening?
It's salt.
Einer.
What do you think's happening?
Yeah. I rolled a natural 6. Jack, keep making a perception check.
Yay! 12.
Oh, is it?
I mean,
Cool. You keep walking along trying to find an area. One of the things that you notice is that if you stay this close to the ledge, you're safe. You don't have to worry about anything. And occasionally you do see a shape kind of like moving through the walls. And you're like, nah. But it doesn't notice you. And you don't notice it. It doesn't have life sense. You know what I mean? It's not a wraith. right?
Gotcha. Yeah.
So it can't detect you. So you're like, I'm just gonna.
Does it not hear his footsteps?
That might be
Right.
why it's following me around, because it can probably hear.
Oh, it's a different one.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yep. That brings us to the guy that's kind of like whiffing through the. Sorry, my apologies. Before the guy that's kind of just whiffing through the skies, I had rolled it before. Just gonna put this guy right here. And you rolled a 9.
Why don't I see the dice rolls?
He doesn't show his dice.
No, like I mean your guys' dice. I don't see the actual
You
dice.
didn't press the button to make them show up.
I have enable 3D dice to automatically roll 3D dice. Is that not it?
It should be.
It should be.
Is there a button I've got to click to make sure that
Nope,
applies?
that's it. But then sometimes Roll20 at the moment it just doesn't do it.
Okay.
What he said.
Going
So
through
all of a
changes.
sudden, Mortifer, where you're standing, like I said, brought attention to that, but where you're standing, all of a sudden, you feel a very strange feeling. All of a sudden, like your leg, the one that actually got attacked beforehand by the shark, gets very cold.
Oh, God.
Very, holy shit, very, 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 very cold. I'll roll this in the open.
Here comes the Connor strength damage.
You take
Strength.
4 points of strength
It's
damage.
strength damage.
Yep.
As
That's
literally
why
your
when he said
strength
shadows, I'm like, shit.
How do
Two
I
hits
take
could
that?
Kill me.
So you know on your character sheet where it shows your strength score, and there's like a temp or a miscellaneous or whatever it is area.
Oh yeah, temp -4. All
You
right.
watch everything change.
Do I see what caused this?
So you look down, and all of a sudden you see this literal like almost a humanoid shaped shadow that's down by your leg, and literally just kind of like reaching out, and it just barely touched your leg with a couple fingers, and it's like pulling itself closer.
We're out
and
in the
its
sunlight
arms-
though. I thought these things couldn't come out in natural light.
So again,
Odd.
the sun was in the favor of the archer shooting at you, which is why it was so hard to see. And you're on this side of the building where the
Gotcha.
shadow cast.
Okay. Whenever we talked about this, because Jack knew everything about these things, basically, is this something we can physically attack back?
So it's, I mean, I can tell you out of game, but
Jack would tell you like you can't hurt these things unless you have like
A specific weapon type.
like weapons that can
I
harm.
imagine we would have talked about that since he knew so much about it. So okay.
Out of game magical weapons or magical abilities, psionic abilities.
Okay. I imagine he would have just told me like you can't do
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
It's one of my biggest complaints about 5e is incorporeal creatures just take half damage. I'm like, what? Wait.
Oh, what an easy rule that you could just not use.
But it's like no, don't they don't.
Yeah, just-
you miss them. They don't.
just
they don't
change
do
it.
damage.
Well,
Yeah.
despite my cold
Yeah.
leg, I'm gonna try climbing again.
So it's like you feel the thing like grab it. You're like, I'm gonna get into some sunlight, and you try climbing. Obviously, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult, but you go right ahead. Oh, and so you like grab hold of the same frame that you're like breaking. You just grab from the other side. You start a little bit of cracking, and you pull yourself up. You have your feet again. You can't really get them into any of the holes, but you kind of like brace your feet against the wall and pull at where you can get yourself in to like take your whole weight. The walls again, stress cracking, little fissures happening. You get yourself up just enough that like a couple fingers can reach the roof, slide your hand up there, use that to brace yourself up. The roof itself has like a moment where there's like a little crack sort of happen. Not that the roof can't support your weight entirely, just like that little lipped area breaks off. And so you're like holding on to the roof that's behind it, and you're really scrambling to pull yourself up. With this check, you can spend your entire turn to get onto the roof. And so in the pale sunlight, you're safe. The sun is not going to, the creature can't get you up here.
Okay.
But you are fully on the roof. You see Shashik fighting the guy. You actually, at one point in time, probably climbed past Ina, like, use that little wooden piece as like a handhold for a second. And as you put your hand on it, you like push it way down past you because it cannot support your weight. You're applying the weight to it, just shatters the spell that's on it, and the thing goes falling down to the ground, and you pull yourself up. That is Mortifer. That brings the guy who skips his. No, sorry, that brings the Shashik. Shashik, end this, please.
Don't say that because it makes me miss.
Well,
This
the first here
is
to
your
help.
big moment. This is your big combat.
Yeah, there you go.
This isn't a big moment. This
This is
would have
your
been
moment.
a big moment if
This
I
is your
killed him in
moment.
like 2 turns the way I wanted him to.
This is your
Now
moment.
it's the old D&D of like, oh, and you roll and you slap. It's a slap fight. It's a D&D slap fight.
Well, but the thing is, like, he's clearly not an inept fighter, right? And the only reason why
Yeah, I get it. It's just
Yeah.
don't try and make this to be a big cool thing because that has passed.
cinematically, it's like literally one of those. He's just fighting back, attacks to his mind as he's kind of like wildly swinging. You're
Oh,
coming in.
cinematically it's sweet.
Little attacks and little scratches,
Okay.
like you said before, death by 1,000 cuts. And describe the finish to this.
I mean, if I get full rain, this will be me taking over his mind and making him walk off the edge.
So it's literally one of those things.
Fear. Yeah, make him back up in fear until he falls.
So I'm climbing up to come help you fight this guy, and as I get to the top, you have him just walk off the edge and die.
But he doesn't just like turn and calmly walk off like you see in some movies. He literally just kind of like, as you reach out and try to touch him one more time, he's like, ah! And like the attacks to his mind from over here, the attacks to his mind over here. He like turns and he's like backing away. Not that he's like running full fledged, just literally like cowering and backing away from your attacks and everything and swatting once again kind of wildly. You see this guy almost seems to have, his mind has been broken. And then it's, he hits the ground below. And, you know, you hear the call, the scream, Jack, and you turn around and you see somebody else meet your fate. But, you know.
This time he dies.
Yeah. You hear a sickening crack.
One less for Mortifer.
Einar, you're easily able to get back up onto the ledge and be safe. You guys are effectively out of combat because nobody can see what's his face, Jack.
Yep.
No enemies can see Jack, and you guys are all safely in the sunlight for now.
All right.
Do you,
I
do you
look.
guys try to communicate with Jack, or my apologies, please.
I look around and be like, Jack, are you here?
Not there.
Look around.
Actually, Einar, Shashik, do me a favor. Back when Jack first drank that potion,
Yeah.
roll me a perception check to see if you saw him drink the potion.
I mean, you said that I looked at him while he did it.
You looked at him and you gave him like a smile, and then you like looked back and focused and jumped, right? So and then he kind of like last second
Yeah,
drank
that's
the
cool.
potion. Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, Jack's gone.
I assume I could
Shashik
be
isn't even in like the mind state to be looking right now. He's still in like
from 60
Feral
feet
mode.
away. I wouldn't have seen it. I'm guessing.
Oh no! You
Did I see the
he also
fall and
had
the
the
crash and the
everything.
yell?
Roll me a perception check for when he fell.
God, I'm so used to being a DM. I keep pressing up to copy my last D20 roll. Perception. Watch, I'm gonna roll bad too.
So I mean,
That's what you get for trying to roll past perception.
unfortunately, it's one of those things where you thought you heard something at some point in time, but honestly, your focus was. It's one of those like you heard noise over there, but it was nothing that stood out enough when you were focused on the combat with, you know, Shashik literally in harm's way. Like you saw the power of that archer, which I didn't even get to use any of my cool abilities.
Well, I would look
you
over.
got to use them. They just missed.
I would look to Mortifer and be like, did you see anything down there while you were climbing up?
Mortifer's leg got very cold from Shadow Man.
But there's shadows down there. My character, like, he would like go up in arms.
Yes, and
I
Jack
would
told
lean
me
over
I
the-
could not hit it.
I would lean over the edge and just throwing caution to the wind, just yell out, be like, Jack!
Oh God.
I actually go over and not
Jack, we'll never
nicely
let go.
grab your mouth and pull you back, muffle you. Like,
Jack,
We are sneaking in to the building. Jack is dead. He got launched. We have to go to the second floor and we have to get the magical shit that your compatriot wants. All right?
Mortifer
I'm like,
may have run into the wall. I don't think we're very stealthy anymore.
Then we're sieging it. That's fine. That's great.
and he's like, it's trying to like wrap some rags around the arrow that he's got still pierced inside. I guess he can't deal with it now, just to not bleed so much. And it's like, is there a way down on the roof?
Jack, do you respond to?
Oh God, no. Mm-mm.
Okay. So way down off the roof, yes, there is. So the roof is actually kind of like a multi-leveled roof. So this isn't the highest level of roof. There's another spot where maybe
Does it have crenellations?
hold on. I know the word crenellations. Please.
So it's a D&D nerd word.
I know the word crenellations. I'm trying to remember what it means. Fuck. You would describe? Sorry.
I don't know. I don't know what it
mean
means.
like ramparts?
Oh, they're the up and down bits on the side of
Oh,
castle.
ramparts.
Ramparts.
Crenellations.
Ramparts.
Ramparts can be anything. Crenellations are when they go.
Yeah. Again, so like I know that word, but it's like, so anyways, so it does not have crenellations. So the what it is the roof is not perfectly flat. There's a few different levels here and there, and so there's actually one other spot of the roof that has a little bit higher up. Sorry, one spot of the building where there's another floor above the rest of them, and so there's a door that goes into there because it's almost like a patio-ish spot where you can overlook the city down below. Usually I don't do that during the daytime. Usually it's like a nighttime thing. It's the time's so hot up here. But then there's also a spot over on a different part of the roof where there's a ladder where you can climb down to where a doorway gets into the building. Now, this area where you are is serviceable with relative comfort for a mull. It is barely serviceable for a half giant. It is not serviceable to a enlarged half giant.
I imagine at this point, I mean, my enlarge has to be wearing off, so I'm imagining I'm just going back to normal size.
It's technically been less than 4 or 5 or 6 minutes or whatever it is that lasts for. It's only been about 3 minutes.
Oh, has it?
Yeah. Each round in combat is 6 seconds.
Gotcha. Okay.
It only took a minute to run over here.
It all happened very quick, but
I don't care, and I just start stomping towards that other floor area.
So, like more or less the penthouse sort of area.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I like hobble behind you as I try to keep up, and I just say, "It's like, so what's the plan?"
We go in, we get the shit.
What about the whole Leviath stuff?
Jashuk turns to you, blood probably dripping from his mouth from when he probably did something horrible to his internal organs earlier. He goes, I don't give a fuck about Leviath the Calm. And I just
We're going to find Jack before we go in.
He's dead.
Mortifer does not believe that. Jack
And
killed a
Mortifer can
Templar.
keep looking.
Jack killed a Templar. He can survive a bit of wood hitting a rock.
Yeah, but could he survive the fall? Or more accurately, the sharp stop?
Mortifer swam over. He did not see Jack's body.
He just keeps walking. He's like, I can't argue with you. I'm mad. Turn around.
are we accepted into this castle? Is that the thing? Like, or no?
I mean,
One group would probably accept
one
it.
group would definitely accept you guys in.
The Callum family, right?
Correct.
Gotcha. Cool.
Jashuk doesn't know that.
Well, I'm gonna like when he said like
Yeah, you're right.
well no when he stops when he starts storming away, I'm saying, and I'll just yell out, like, we have an inn with the Calum family. If you see someone with, I just assume he knows just because he's been in
Greens.
this town. It's like,
Green,
if you see anyone, what green?
Yeah.
Greens, yeah.
Yeah, if you see anyone wearing green, just don't attack them on sight. We actually probably can easily talk our way in.
He'll nod and keep going.
And you keep going towards the penthouse. Let's go down to you, Jack.
Sure.
When that guy flopped and hit the ground,
Mm-hmm.
you just keep going on, or do you go, ooh, and go back towards the body?
No, I'm good. I don't need the shadows peeping out and being like, hey, grabby. Right?
They won't get you. You're invisible. They
Oh.
can't detect you.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Well, then I might get a little
Mike,
distracted.
Mike,
Yeah.
it's a trap. Mike, it's a
Of
trap.
course it's a trap. I know it's a trap. I'm
Mike,
going
it's
back.
a trap on a most basic level. This is a damn trap.
You make your way over there, and as you touch me,
Don't touch anything.
Do you roll? You can roll. You can investigate his body.
I guess so.
Roll investigate. Roll
Perception.
Perception check. Search. Yeah, because search is gone. Yep. Perception.
Perception.
So you go searching throughout his body, trying to find. Like, obviously, he has a well-crafted bow. That's long bow. That's obvious. He has actually no arrows on him, which is kind of funny because he can
Yeah,
just
yeah.
his mind. But he has a well-crafted bow. That's obviously on him. His armor is a halfway decent armor, but nothing that is better than what you have.
Okay.
He does have a coin purse at his side, and when you take the coin purse and you look inside of it, something catches your interest.
Oh, good.
You look into the coin purse, open up, you look inside, you see a handful of the ceramic plates and some ceramic pieces, but you actually also see 3 gold in there.
Wow.
3 gold coins, which I imagine makes you go like,
Yeah, it's like,
who is this guy?
yeah.
And you search over him again because that caught your interest. You're actually able to make one more perception check.
Okay. Can I Nah, you know what? I'm good. 21.
So much more fervently searching over this person, you eventually realize that like it was hard to see because he's splatted on the ground. So it's like, how much do you really want to touch? You're literally touching a corpse, which is against most society's willingness to do. You eventually kind of roll him over, and you realize he's wearing a necklace. When you pull the thing up and look at it, you see that the necklace is that of a snake consuming a snake.
That's unfortunate. So
snake.
my immediate action is to take the coin pouch and just dump the coins into my coin pouch, and then throw his coin pouch into the silt, and then brace my back up against the wall and push his body also into the silt. Goodbye. I didn't do it.
And you start walking away like.
Yep. No evidence. I don't want any of his shit on me.
And start walking the way you were beforehand with a little skip in you.
I am a very, very rich man right now.
And as you go walking around looking for some sort of door into the place, and the others are very quickly, and then I imagine finally slowing down as they get to the actual penthouse area of the castle. We see the camera slowly start to pull back, seeing you pan around, walking around the side this way, and then walking along the roof this way. Mortifer very unhappy as he's making his way forward, still contemplating whether or not he's going to crush Shashik's head and throw him into the silt as well. And Einar like, and Shashik. And we'll bring this session to a close.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Very good follow up to last session.
Yeah. it is
Constant action instead of.
Oh, Mortifer needed this. This was Mortifer's penthouse vacation.
I love the fact that the shadows were only a 1-round concern. Like, it wasn't even a thing. And I love the fact that you guys straight up murdered one of the members. They said there's only 15 of us left. And imagine Jack's like, or
yeah, I was going to say, there's only 14 of you left now. So.
Which faction was he with?
He was with the Kalem family.
Well,
he never described the color of his outfit. This could have all been described if there was some DM description. His outfit was green.
It wasn't. It was very.
Then we're good.
Clothing.
I mean, Shashik doesn't feel bad anyway.
Yeah, Jack doesn't feel bad either. He's in the sand.
The only interaction I ever had was climbing up a wall and watching him fall off.
The sharks are gonna rip him apart and eat him before they find any evidence that he died. That's why I said his coins.
To be honest, if I recall, he walked to his own death.
That's also true.
Yeah. A zone of truth would not protect you from that. You could, Dave. You know how zone of truth works. You could phrase things in such a way.
Mortifer saw him walk to his own death. That's all I know. So I couldn't do the. Let him interrogate me.
Yeah. It's one of those. It's all about phrasing, and I'm not. Most NPCs aren't the dicks. Like, you must answer yes or no. Like, most NPCs don't do that. Only the super.
Well, that's just like
ones
the
like
catch.
that.
That's just the catch of that spell. It's such an obvious catch, but in the world, it's just kind of
exactly.
ignored.
Like, you can't do that with every character though, because otherwise it just makes the spell not fun.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So, and the spell's designed to be fun.
Well, that's why they have like a prestige class spy, which just like defeats all of those spells and stuff like that. Just say fuck you to the DM.
Yep. And that spell didn't exist back in the day. That's a newer spell to be like, no, you can ask your fucking yes or no questions. I'm gonna do it anyways. There was also glibness. I don't know if you remember the old spell glibness.
Vaguely.
It's like plus 20 to bluff or something like that.
Or you can speak over that. You know what I mean? Zone of truth. I used to love glibness.
Well,
anyways,
let's
my argument is simply that like I tried to say we come in peace, and the guy completely ignored me. I know it was because I rolled poorly, but I was like, he has no interest in listening. So I also do not feel bad about killing him.
Mortifer feels bad he didn't kill him.
Yeah.
I
did not want Mortifer to take that kill.
I don't generally enjoy extremely combat heavy sessions. I fucking loved this one.
Yeah, this was fun.
The sharks were good. That guy, that whole thing, we could speed that up by like 4 times if you're watching the VOD. Yeah.
Well, why don't you, not suck at what you do, and then
Oh yeah, why don't I somehow make a character that's good in Pathfinder? I'll consult the star charts.
I'm sorry.
To make things
Did everybody
align.
else succeed? Because
No, I miserably
Yeah,
failed.
yeah, because 2 characters were made by you and 1 character's made by a guy who's played Pathfinder for like 10 years.
I rolled 2 nat 1s at the worst penalty was
They
I
also failed.
castle a little bit, so I mean I'm
Yeah.
not too.
That's just D&D in a nutshell, though. Even 5e to an extent. Like, you can never
I
make
could
a
have
character.
killed you all with a discus throw.
Your character will always have an opportunity. Will always have a chance to fail miserably at what he's supposedly an expert
Oh, that's
at.
D&D. That's
That's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
just D&D. That's just.
But that's also a fun story. But Mike was pooping for like 6 hours earlier, so he didn't hear this.
Yeah.
When you guys were handling the first part of the shark situation, I thought the answer to the problem, sans the first attack, which sucked for Dave, but I thought Mike's answer to the problem was going to be drink a potion, throw shit in a potion, drink it, and then spit it on the walls
It's not
to
enough.
turn them to stone.
I need.
Dude,
It's only 5 feet. I would need multiple.
No, it's way more than 5 feet, isn't it?
No, it's only 5 square feet.
Oh, it's the Melton that's more than 5 feet. It's 5 feet one
wait,
way.
Am I wait.
Because because it does the opposite of what you've used it for 2 or 3 times now.
No, I know it does the opposite, but I always thought it was the same. Maybe I was incorrect.
Can you click it onto the
it
chat?
just says this.
As a 4-round action, an alchemist can convert any potion or extract into a solution that, when thrown or applied, solidifies sand or dirt to the hardness of stone for 1 hour, affecting the area with a radius of 10 feet times the level of the potion or extract. That's what I thought you were going to do, like because of the fact
Oh,
that
it's the softness that's only small. I thought it was both. I thought
Yeah,
they were
because
both
remember we
5
had
and
the big
5.
wall.
I thought you were going to make like a stone tunnel, like
I would have.
we're safe here.
Honestly, I would have if I had. If that's weird that it does the
But
opposite.
no, it's cool though, because the way it ended up working out was like the door ended up becoming a perfect way to get like it's one of those things where I as a DM walked into the situation going, Mike's got this awesome ability. I kind of talked him into grabbing, like he's gonna love it. This is gonna be a great opportunity for Mike to look cool because he's a non-combative character. So like miscellaneous is his way through it, and then instead shit ensued, which turned into another way to get across. I had more
Instead,
dangers there.
Vomited spiders.
Yeah.
It was just the whole thing. Just I love the way it played out. And again, I had more dangers to get across there. And I was just like, fuck it, that was so cool. Like I get over them.
Picture. I love the image of them trying to get on this door, it flipping around, me grabbing it and just hurling the damn thing.
Yeah.
I honestly thought when I jumped in that silt shit that there was going to be some kind of like silt worm monster that was going to come like try to nibble.
I think if you were in there longer,
You got out so quickly.
I like that the subtext of everything we're talking about here is that one of the PCs knows how to make a proper wizard character. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. Oh, thank you. You use skate? Oh, thank you. Oh, and inflict pain. Oh,
Damn it! I can't mute him. I'm not the host.
But I switched places with you and saved your life from a sand shark.
that's true. I'm just saying that. I'm not saying that you. I'm not diminishing.
Whoa, he made a proper wizard character. He has the appropriate ways to be defeated and the pawns to solve the problem for him. You know.
I'm saying no. I am doing
and he just
what a
needs to
wizard should
stumble
do.
into a shadow and turn into a pile
You
of
do some nifty spells that come in handy.
My job is to make everyone else look good.
support wizard.
No, I mean,
Utility, man.
what was special about today was that I'm a shaper. However, I wasn't a shaper today. I was a pure scion. Everything I did had nothing to do with being a shaper.
That's true.
All right, let's do the round robin. Everybody do what they're gonna do, and then I think we're gonna raid Maggie because she's currently playing D&D. So after we're done with this, totally gonna raid Maggie.
Sounds good.
So we'll start with you, Ollie. What do you do?
I'm Ollie. You should and can find me at Twitch and Twitter at Ollie Rant. I do a Stars of Number game where Scott is the acting captain of a spaceship. That is, which means he makes very good calls every time and makes very good
Can
rolls
I
every
add that I
time.
watched an episode and they're terrible at shooting though.
They are the worst shots in the world. And
It's actually, I love the cohesion of the party because like my concept is listen to the advice and then make a decision. And it's actually, the cohesion's amazing.
It
I'm
ends
loving
up being kind of like a Star Trek episode where it's
Yeah.
more about the inter-party communication and anything else, which is great. Also, on Sundays starting next week, I'm going to do another D&D 5e game set in my homebrew world of Yavaskir, which is kind of like traditional D&D with a whole bunch of Ollie-style twists, which is going to be real sweet starting on Sundays at midnight BST next week. So you should come
Midnight
over.
BST is what? 7 p.m. here on East
Yes.
Coast.
Except
7 p.m.
Great
East
time.
Coast.
Eat dinner and watch some D&D.
Yep.
Eat a 4-hour-long dinner.
I honestly don't know who's involved in that, so I'm going to ask you after the stream. Wade.
My Twitter.
I'm Wade, Lord Minion 777 on Twitter and on YouTube. Minion 777 here on Twitch. D&D wise, I'm doing Pathfinder every other Thursday, so we won't be doing it next week, but the week after. And every Wednesday we do a Star Wars campaign, Fate in the Stars, that Mike DMs, so you should definitely check that out if you haven't already. As far as streaming goes on my own, I've not been too good about doing that, so I need to get back to streaming regularly. However, we've had company. I got married recently, and we just got 2 new puppies in the family, so life's been a little bit crazy. YouTube is terrible. Don't watch my videos.
Mazel tov, by the way.
Thank you. They're not muzzled though. Thank you. It's hilarious.
Dave?
Well, I'm uninteresting. So instead, what I will
Sure.
talk about is today has actually been a big day in role playing because 2 things launched today. Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition launched today. If people are interested in Vampire, and also for those who like Pathfinder, the 2nd edition of Pathfinder, the playtest, also launched today. So if you want to check out the new rules, the new systems for Pathfinder, go over to Paizo and take a look. If you're a Vampire fan or have any interest, this is a great time to get into the game. It's really exciting. It's $25 to just get the PDF, or it's about 50 to 60 depending where you go to get the physical copy if you care.
Fuck you, Ollie. In case anybody's questioning, we're not going to switch over to this the playtest 2nd edition rules. We're in the middle of a campaign, in case somebody's curious about that. Hi, I'm Delric, Daelric. Google it. Go to Delric.com. You can find everything about me there, except for one thing, a secret thing that involves me and Doxy and Ollie. That's becoming less and less secret every day. No, Doxy already said it in chat, so it's okay.
No, it's just
So it's okay.
I'm historically bad at secrets.
No,
And
I used to be
impressed
really
every
good
time.
until Mike was always teasing everything, and then I was like, "Yeah, I'll tease too. It's fun. I'll give it a
Teasing
little
is
tickle."
fun.
Yeah. So
Teasing
so
is
anyways, but details to come and stuff. Tomorrow night, 9 p.m. EST. Sorry, 10:30 p.m. EST. Our Eberron campaign. We're currently on season 5, episode 2. So we're not following the trend of Eberron becoming important now. We've been doing Eberron for over a year. Okay, we've been cool. That's all I got.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back next Wednesday with more Star Wars, but it will be the Evil campaign, General's Directive, as I will be in Los Angeles. And then we'll be back the week after with Fated in the Stars and more Dark Sun. If you missed it, you can check it out. All the VODs right away. If you're a subscriber, right after this closes up, you can go on Twitch and check them out. If not, you can watch it for free a few days later over on the Lost Initiative Show YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Raid Maggie.
Raid Maggie. I don't know how to do that.
Raid
Do I just
Maggie.
like
slash
raid?
raid
Slash
Margaret
raid.
Crone?
Margaret
Yeah. Yeah.
Spell it correctly, otherwise you'll do what I did and raid the wrong.
All right.
person.
Goodbye.
Woo! Maggie.